O Show. This is the Big 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 O Show.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on a new Acura Integra. $229 a month. It's the Season of Performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
It's game day at Toyota of Hollywood. Our All-Stars are here to give you our MVP experience. Join the fun and feast on discounts up to $4,500. Huddle up and score big on a 25 Corolla. Not $26,000, $17,988. It's a tailgate party you don't want to miss. So gobble up the savings at the #1 volume Toyota dealer. Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
Oh, Sam, not again.
Initiating Daddy's back.
Go! Set the rhythm of your smart home with Slowman Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Slowman Shield Blink. Be the maestro of your own home.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
Price, service, selection. Get all this and more at South Florida's #1 loved Subaru store. Subaru of Pembroke Pines. Save today with our 3 ways to save. 0% financing, 0 down payment, or make no payments for 90 days. From Subaru of Pembroke Pines.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Ray. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Ray can help.
There's just one place to get our lowest payment on a new Acura ADX. $239 a month. It's the season of performance event at Acura of Pembroke Pines, #1 in the USA.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Welcome aboard. Time to rock and roll on a beautiful Thursday. We are here at Hialeah Park like we are every Tuesday. Come on out and join us. Join us. We got plenty of things to talk about on a beautiful Tuesday, January 6, 2026. It is day number 18,982 since the Miami Dolphins won the Super Bowl title. And it's day number 8,765 since the Canes were national champions. And who knows, we could be resetting that clock. Manny Navarro, by the way, will join us tomorrow to preview the game against Ole Miss. And then on Thursday, we'll be doing it'll be double shot Thursday. Sean and I will come on in the morning and we'll do the regular morning gig. And then at night, we will be back for the post-game show, our Caneswear post-game show. And Manny Navarro will be joining us. Speaking of Caneswear, we will be at Caneswear tomorrow. We have 2 appearances this week here on 3. Oh, yeah, we have Acura on Friday. That's right. I'm sorry, Acura. So we have 3 of them. So we have today here at Hialeah, tomorrow at Caneswear, and Friday at Acura Pembroke Pines. So there you go. It's a beautiful thing, man. Looking forward to it. Good week. Good week. Good week. We get the Canes going. I love it. I love it. I have my weekends free. Is the national championship game on a Saturday? Yeah, tell me what day is the national championship game, because obviously our Canes are going to beat Ole Miss. I mean, come on, right? They've got to beat Ole Miss. So let's move on. No diss to Ole Miss, but I'm just saying, what is it? Okay. I'm just being selfish. I want my weekends back. Okay. You want your weekends back? Okay. So I just want my weekends back. Well, yeah, no, I don't mind working the Sundays if the damn Dolphins, but bro, it's 30 years of, 36 years of you never give me any real
or even just the heartbreak at the end. Not the whole season.
Yeah, right.
Like this season just dragged along. It felt like it's like, all right, let's go. Bring on the next L. Let's go.
Yeah. So at least we do have the Canes, and hopefully the Canes will get us out of the football funk that we've all been in for decades now, combine the Dolphins and the Canes, it's like, 50, 60 years of just not accomplishing shit. 20 for the Canes and 30 to 40 years for the Dolphins. It's crazy, dude. It's really crazy. So don't forget, folks, please smash the hell out of the like button. It is very, very important that you hit that like button. The notification bell is great. Like yesterday when we had a special show. And if you caught the show yesterday, we gave you our entire GM breakdown and our prediction on who we think the GM is going to be. And so we told you Josh Williams, we think, is going to be the guy that's going to be selected out of the 7, 6 guys, whatever. Champ Kelly. Champ Kelly, for Champ, it's good because he goes through the experience of interviewing for the process. So that's good for him. Okay, they fill a quota too, even though they've got a few minorities in the whole thing. And it would be kind of like disrespectful to name him the interim and then not give him an interview. But you and I know he's not getting the job. You and I know one of the San Fran guys is probably getting the job. As I've said, I mean, dude, I nail it with our local teams, right? Bam, a super role player, right? The Dolphins human Jenga, you know what I mean? There are sayings that we have here. It's not just blind ass fan. There are sayings that are money in the bank. And our Dolphins have been playing human Jenga for years, dude. Different GMs, different owners, they've all done this human Jenga shit. And here we are again doing the same human Jenga thing where, well, we're going to get a San Fran GM or, assistant from the GM, one of the 80 assistants that they have, and we're going to try to bring one because he's familiar, right? So then you've got the three guys, Tariq Ahmed, Josh Williams, and RJ Gillen. They're going to pick one of the three. And from what I have somebody in the SF building and then a couple of people in the Dolphin building talking to the different people. Josh Williams is kind of the guy that everybody feels is the lead dog here. So we'll see. Now they're doing their, they do the first round where they do the interviews on Zoom and all that crap. And then they'll go through the second round where they'll bring them in and all that kind of stuff. And we'll go through it and they'll cut it down.
Will Tim Kelly get the in-person interview since he's here? Or will they just Zoom him too just to get it through the process?
Oh, yeah. No, yeah. Just, Champ, I would imagine, is the only one that's doing it in person. I would imagine. Yeah. So, although maybe they only do it with Zoom also for him because the next stage is a cut. Because maybe you don't have all 7 in person. You only have 4, and so who knows? But my guess is that anybody else, I don't know, is Kalshi doing something on this? I have no idea. But anyway, you could see the show yesterday and I explain it all and give you my thoughts on it. And today we'll discuss a juicy topic. Today we'll discuss a very juicy topic. Tua Tagovailoa. We'll talk about that. The headline is, just when you thought the Miami Dolphins and Ross couldn't make it worse, they just did. Well, we're watching it. And this is a consistent thing that goes on with the Dolphins, and it's called dysfunction. And when you have dysfunction, you create these kind of environments. And I told you about a week, 10 days ago, 2 weeks ago, whatever it was, that, in the building, you have a whole bunch of people that are trying to save their asses. So Tom Garfinkel has a ton of power in that organization. Brendan Shore has a ton of power in that organization. Stephen Ross is instilling power into his son-in-law. So these are people that, dude, if they're involved in the GM decisions, they're involved in football decisions. They're involved in draft decisions. They're involved in free agent decisions. Don't kid yourself. That's why when you hear Tom Pelissero, voice of the league, oh, they're looking for a scout. And that comes from the building. Why? Because other people have opinions on what players they want to get to. So, as you go in as a GM, yeah, you're the GM, but, And it's clear, dude. So Shore has it. Garfinkel has it. I don't know how far Danny Silman, but he's part of the GM process. And then you have Stephen Ross, part of the GM process. And then Dan Marino, who, come on, dude, what does Dan do? He hangs around. He doesn't work the league. God bless him. I love him, dude. But we have to kind of compartmentalize here and separate our emotions and how much we love Marino. And he wants to enjoy his life and then walk into the building and, look at a film for a quarterback for a moment. He doesn't want to break down film from 25 quarterbacks. He's not doing that. So he's not there. He already was afforded the job to grind for it, and he wasn't willing to do it. So, we all got a lot of you out there, you got to stop forcing that narrative. That's a square peg in a round hole. And plus, he's not in tune with the league, dude. Aikman is. but there's an agenda, and everybody has an agenda here. And so now the dysfunction continues because they refuse to bring in a football czar. Why? A football czar would then minimize everyone that's there. The football czar wouldn't need Troy Aikman because he's a football czar. The football czar doesn't want to hear from Brandon Shore's opinion on football. He's just going to tell him, bro, you crunch numbers. Shut the F up and go to the corner. And when I want a player, tell me how it affects the cap and affects my future and affects down the line. What can I do? And all those kind of things. That's when I need you. Outside that, I don't need you. Oh, Tom Garfinkel, hey, great job, dude, putting the hospital on the field and bringing in an F1 race and all that shit. I don't want anything from you when it comes to football. You're the team president. Go do your team president stuff. You don't run football operations. But they do. But they do. They do. They're not hiring a football czar. Because everybody is there to save their ass, like I told you. Okay? And now, you know, you're bringing in a guy that they're going to take the job because they get the title, they get the money, they get the experience, and either way, they get to move on with the experience one way or the other. Maybe they make an impact, maybe they don't, but there's a lot of chiefs for very few Indians. There's a lot of chefs in the damn kitchen. Whatever silly saying you want to come up with, that's our problem right now. Okay? And because of that, this is why you have the circle of idiots. And the circle of idiots is Stephen Ross, Danny Silman, Tom Garfinkel, Brandon Shore, Dan Marino, and Troy Aikman. And this is dysfunctional as it gets. And it's so obvious. You pick 6 guys, 3 of them are from the team where he comes from. Oh, I wonder what side you're leaning to. So I would probably guess that you're going with one of those guys, and digging in, I think it's Josh Williams if they're going to pick one of those guys. So to me, my opinion is, from talking to people in the know, Josh Williams is probably the guy that's going to be. And by the way, his resume is pretty good. He's got a decent resume. It's not like he's a schmuck or anything, by the way, okay? But it's really hard to do what you're doing because of the environment. And by the way, as astutely put by Sean Stanley in pre-show, whoever comes in deals with cap hell for 2 years. So you have your own limitations. It's a very difficult situation. It's not like you're right on the door of being a playoff team or whatever. No, dude, you're far away from it. You need an entire culture. You need everything. You need a real team reset, but you're not willing to do that. You're okay. Well, this is what they're doing. Basically, this is how dysfunctional this is. In order for them to justify that they like Mike McDaniel and they want to keep Mike McDaniel, they're going to go get a GM that thinks supposedly like Mike McDaniel. It's just ridiculous. What hit you, Sean Stanley?
I think about how Mike McDaniel got hired, right?
Right.
And it was because they wanted to find somebody that they thought could build the confidence in Tua. Now they're getting a GM that can build confidence in Mike McDaniel.
Well, they also wanted somebody from the San Fran offense, and they didn't really spend a lot of thinking.
No,
it was a leftover from a list of Flores.
Yeah.
You know, so
but it's like, as you said with the human Jenga, though, it's like, okay, we need this piece to build this piece. Okay, now we got to build this piece. Oh, wait, now we got to go back and build this piece. And it's just
right. They slide out one block, but now they slide another block back in. You know, that's kind of what they're doing. You know, it's the stuff that has gone on here forever, and it just doesn't make any sense. And they're not willing to look in the mirror and really understand how bad their situation is, how dysfunctional it is, how Stephen Ross, Danny Silman, Tom Garfinkel, Brandon Shore, and Dan Marino have no business doing anything in football operations. Dan is good for, hey, Dan, you know, we're looking at these two quarterbacks. Check this out. What do you think about these guys? All right, great. Thanks. Hey, Dan, we got some sponsors. Can you address them for a few minutes and shake some hands? All right, great. That's what he's there for, dude. You know, that's what he's there for. He's not there to really grind for that. So you can ask him about that, but that's about it. But outside of that, I'm not really interested in Dan Marino making football decisions. I want somebody that actually lives it, breathes it. That's do you think Bill Zito is, you know, like working on his golf game during the season at all or something? No, dude. He's relaxing or doing they're eating and breathing and living it, bro. Pat Riley is 80 years old and he's living and eating and breathing it still. And he's there all the time and he's in the summer league and doing all that. I saw Dan Marino run away from the fucking Senior Bowl in the first day, in the first hours of the Senior Bowl. He couldn't stay an entire day at the Senior Bowl because it's a grind, dude. It's a grind. You know, and so this is the circle of idiots. And that's where your dysfunction comes from. And now their whole, they got to justify keeping Mike McDaniel. They're going to piss you guys off, right? Like, what, 80% of you, 90%? Because there's always that group of fans that tries to spin anything and everything like, maybe, this makes sense. You get him from San Fran and him from San Fran, and it works together, and they think alike, and then they'll forget about all the stupid things that Mike McDaniel does on a consistent basis in every single game, and it never changes for 4 years. They'll overlook all of that and not realize that it doesn't matter. Like, I love Ian Rappaport, dude, but he had a tweet that made no sense today. Absolutely no sense. Terrific dude, but I get it. He also works for the league. So he has to kind of put that kind of stuff out there, but he put in his, I can't write in it. I can't necessarily play the audio clip. Well, I could actually play the audio clip right off the damn phone. I could actually play the audio clip, Oh yeah. Yeah. Play the damn clip because it made absolutely no sense whatsoever. Because I can tell that he doesn't watch all the games. He doesn't watch every snap of the Miami Dolphins games. I do. I watch every single snap, so I kind of know. Yes, here it is. I have it. Can I play it? Yeah. Yes, up to the minute. Exactly. Yeah.
The long-term general manager.
Yeah, let's see what you got.
Eyes.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, and especially with Chris Greer, the longtime general manager, being out, all eyes turned to Mike McDaniel while he engineered a pretty impressive second half. It really looked like the team that we all thought they were going to be at the beginning, closed really hard, and may have found a potential quarterback option in Quinn Ewers. Our understanding, this is something me and Pelissero over there have been reporting for the last several weeks, is that Mike McDaniel is expected to be back with the Miami Dolphins. Obviously going to have a new general manager that will put him in a much better position to succeed. The fact that the 2025 Dolphins roster basically got remade in May and June with a couple players that other teams decided to discard late in the year, or players who unretire like Darren Waller. It was a little bit of a mess. Really never quite found the cohesion. Money spent in all sorts of strange places. A lot of reasons you could say Mike McDaniel just was not put in a position to succeed as well as he should have. Things will be looking in a completely different place in the 2026 season. Still need to figure out the Tua Tagovailoa.
I've heard enough already. That's pure silliness. He had a slow start because he's a bad coach. And as eloquently put by Sean Stanley in the pregame, well, it's the same players he beat Buffalo with that he got trashed by Cleveland. right? Oh, he lost to that entire division. You know, like, give me a break, dude. They gave you enough the last year, 3 to 5 wins. That's why I know Ian Rappaport doesn't really watch. But again, he is connected in a way. Some of these guys are connected to Mike McDaniel. They stood on the whole Mike McDaniel's coming back thing. Why? Because it's a league thing. They get the information from the building. Only Pelissero can be talking to somebody from the building when they say, well, they're looking for a scout. That's an adjective. I'm not sure that's an adjective I want to use for my GM, because of course he's a scout or she's a scout. That's how they started. That's how they get to general manager. They have final say on personnel, so they must have started somewhere in personnel. So yes, they all have a basis of, but a GM is much more than that. Bill Zito is much more than a scout, dude. Much more. Pat Riley is much more than a scout. Okay? I mean, that's just stupid. And so this is why this organization is dumb. And so that report by Ian, I love Ian. I got nothing against Ian, but if I disagree with anybody, I'm going to say it. And he's dead ass wrong. Dead ass wrong. Mike McDaniel has underachieved for 4 years, bro. For 4 years. The man didn't know what down it was in a crucial playoff game against the Bills. He doesn't mention shit like that. I mean, it's and I get it, dude. You're a national guy. You're not gonna watch every game of every team, so there's no way. And as I've said for many, many years, and this has nothing to do with anybody on NFL Network or on ESPN or whatever, none of them are going to be able to tell me about the Dolphins that I don't know already. And I watch more Dolphins and have watched more Dolphins and know about the Dolphins way more than they ever will. And so when there's bullshit, there's bullshit. And that's bullshit. Mike McDaniel was given more to succeed. He failed. He underachieved with the talent that they gave him every single year. Every year he's been here, he has underachieved. That's the bottom line. So he's a bad coach. This is a bad organization. They got a circle of jerks or circle of idiots deciding the future. You got a bunch of people that aren't football people making football decisions, playing fantasy football. And then this is the horse shit that you're involved in now. And we're Dolphin fans. And it's screwed up because I'm here. Robbie's here and gone. Wayne is here and gone, and Ross will be here and gone, and Shula's here and gone, and everybody all the other Jimmy, Saban, whatever, McDaniel, whatever, they're all going to come and go, and we're still here. All the general managers, they're all going to come and go, and we're still here, dude. Good or bad draft picks, we're still going to be. We're the ones that are stuck with all the crap. Kind of like what we're doing with, each president that we put in office adds trillions and trillions to our deficit, and we have these two silly parties fighting against each other. But meanwhile, we are burying it for our kids. It doesn't matter what side, red or blue, they're all stupid, but we're killing. And so others are going to suffer from this. Our kids are going to suffer, and their kids are going to suffer from all this stuff that we're been doing for 30 years. Destroying our deficit. Same thing here. These people for decades continue to screw it up, and you and I are the ones that end up suffering and fighting and arguing about it and all this kind of crap. It's horse shit, dude. Please smash the hell out of the like button. Don't forget you can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation, and we always appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Andrew Watson chimes in on Venmo. He says, if the current Dolphins were IBS, who's who? The intestinal blockage, the low-fiber diet, the fermented 7-day-old steamy crap. Identify them to solve the human Django riddle and restore healthy bowels to Miami. I'm going to go with fermented 7-day-old steamy crab because that sounds about as nasty as the Dolphins are, actually. So I'm going to go with that, Andrew. All right? How about that? Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Peter German, thank you, sir, for the love on Venmo. He says, Big O, I gave to wave the white flag. Been a loyal fan since 71, but this ownership, McDaniel, to be a part of the GM search is the final straw. Like, he's not in the room for interview, but he's still a resource. He's still going to be talking about the candidates, what he thinks, and all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, give me a break. He goes, I'm not coming to any more games, buying any merch, or supporting this F-up owner anymore. I'm furious. And I don't blame you. I don't blame you, dude. I don't blame you at all. You know? So, it's crazy. You are at 3, right? Yes. Steve is here. The two and one. Steve, by the way, he's got a winning record 3 weeks in a row. By the way, just so I know you're really early. Yes, he'll be back in a half hour because we got Ira Winderman from Minnesota coming in now, and yes. All right, I'm sorry, man. All right, you got it. I appreciate you. The great Steve Calabro will be in. He'll be joining us in a little bit. We're going to talk to Ira in a few minutes here. We're waiting for Ira to pop in. But, again, it's depressing. It's what it is. It's depressing. And, unfortunately, we're caught in the middle. We're like kids in the middle of a divorce, you know? Ugly divorce, and the kids get caught in the middle, and everything's going to crap. And who's the one that's taking all the shrapnel? The kids. And that's kind of who we are. You know? It's a trip. It really is. Pits us against each other, all that kind of stuff. Absolute silliness. But this is where we are. True Fin Fan says a lot of chefs with no recipes. That is true. Thank you for the super chat. Ricky 1170 says this is and has been arroz con mango. Missed the old QAM days. Thank you, Ricky. I appreciate it. I don't miss radio at all, my brother. I do miss those days when radio was actually pretty decent back in the 90s and very early 2000s. But now, no, I would never go back. I have zero interest in doing any of that. Adolfo Foliaco, thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. I know that this will not matter, but is the lead dog a good candidate or just more crap to please your favored coach, McD? Well, I talked about it yesterday on the show, dude. And I just went over it a little bit now. So that's kind of all been talked about. Thank you, sir, for the love on the super chat. I hear Ira Winderman with the pop. So let's talk a little Heat basketball with the one and only Ira Winderman and our Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report.
Heat fans, time for the best insight of your favorite team with insider Ira Winderman, exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. It's the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA report. Here's Ira Winderman.
All right. Hey, Ira, how you doing? How you feeling?
Greetings from chilly Minnesota. But Big O, I'm almost glad that today we're on a little later because we have the Tyler Hero news cleared today, shoot around at Target Center to return. And man, it gets really interesting now. The fit here, what might happen next with Tyler. Does he start? Does he come off the bench? And very curiously, It happens at a time that the Atlanta Hawks have put Trae Young on the trade market. So there's a lot of balls up in the air. For those of us just listening, they can see Big O making the sign of keeping the cross and keeping the devil away, and no exorcism here. But Big O, it's a curious time because with Trae on the market, it means teams are looking at that type of player. So why not say, hey, we got a guy who's extension eligible. We're not sure what to do. We're getting him back up to speed. We're getting him in action. It's a really interesting week for the Miami Heat and the NBA.
So much to touch on there. First of all, with Tyler Hero, I'm not thinking about any of that because if I'm the Heat, I'm thinking big picture, and I'm thinking I just need this kid to stay healthy and get on a roll. I don't give a shit about salaries or trades or because none of that is realistic until that young man proves availability. And then if he could get on a streak from now to the trading deadline, then maybe it opens it up for me, because the one killer about all of this is he has just absolutely tanked his value. You know, where maybe you had a window a couple of years ago.
Sure.
Now you've lost that complete window. And last year you had some momentum. And then the second half of the year and the comments from one player talking about his deficiencies on defense. And now again have the problem with fragility.
You're
that's
right.
the worst part. That's the worst part about all of this.
Again, we talk about it in our Accurate Pembroke Pines reports all the time. Availability is an ability. And if you don't show up, you can be Michael Jordan. But if MJ played 6 games a season, it didn't matter that he was MJ. So going into tonight in Minnesota, Tyler Hero has played 6 games. He's missed 13 with the toe. He missed 17 with the offseason ankle surgery. Who is he or what is he? Does he fit? Does he not fit? And Big O, keep this in mind. 2 major Heat players are in line for extensions, available for extensions. Tyler Hero and Norman Powell. One guy has shown up almost every night, has provided the tough, gritty minutes, has been listed as out sometimes and played anyway, so you have that. But here's another factor. Tyler at 25, Norman Powell at 32. That matters also because I've been on the Orlando Alzagari show here on our Accurate Pembroke Pines report talking about an older Jimmy Butler. And from the get-go, Big O, said no, you don't extend players that old, you get into trouble. And we're seeing it play out right now with Jimmy's absences with the Warriors. It's not the same. So it's really interesting. Do you take a chance on the 25-year-old who has shown that he can be up to moments when he's available? Do you go with the 32-year-old who has done everything you have asked since he's been acquired? There's a lot on Andy Ellisberg's plate right now, that's for sure.
To me, I'm still at the same. I'm at the same point. You need to unload everybody, my friend, and gain as many picks as possible.
Have no issue with that whatsoever, and that's why
that's the game. And yes. so I have an interesting question for you. Okay? Because I'm hoping that they wake up there in Heatland, because I got nothing but love for the ownership and Riley, but I've got disdain for the way they've done things lately, because they are not adjusting to the world of the NBA now. And I'm really, really disappointed that for a team that's been the most forward-thinking team in town, always in everything, they have not adjusted to the ways of the NBA now. So I'm disappointed, but I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful right now, maybe. So Zach Lowe reports, okay, whether it's true or not, I don't know. You're going to know way more than I will. Teams are inquiring about Bam Adebayo, and the Heat are saying,
decades, almost.
Yeah, no, but again, they're doing it right now, okay? Because they're a bottom feeder. Hey, let's go see what the bottom feeder are. They desperate? Are they players? Are they sellers? Are they buyers? So you call the bottom feeders to see what they're doing, and Bam would be a terrific addition for an established team, obviously. So they're telling him no. So here's what I'm thinking, and I'm hoping. Okay. I'm thinking, hey, there's no reason to trade Bam right now as it is. Let's just see if we could get through this and work it all the way to the deadline. And maybe some of these teams that are inquiring about Bam get a little bit more desperate right before the deadline, and we're able to extract just a little bit more from Bam, because I am hoping that by the deadline, they've realized they've got to unload Wiggins and they've got to unload Powell and they've got to unload Bam. I don't know if they're going to be able to unload Tyler because the availability thing, I don't think anybody gives you anything right now.
Unless you take less than, if you take pennies on the dollar. There's always a trade to be made.
Second rounders or something. And,
pennies on the dollar. Big O, I'm going to say this about Bam, though. Let's look at the Heat like one of those HGTV reno shows where we're going to rip it down to the studs, okay?
Yes.
But when you rip it down to the studs, you still have the studs. And you still have the foundation. And my thought is this. As much as the Miami Heat are having these 140-point games and they're fun as hell, the foundation of the team is the defense, and Bam does so much to be the foundation there that I still look at Bam as a foundational piece because on all these rental shows, you start with something. You take it to the studs. You still have the foundation. You still have that in place. That still matters. So if I'm redoing the Heat, and I know $50 million is a lot of money, and I get it, but you have to have something foundational or you have nothing. Now, you might have said the Heat mantra is the foundation. You're going to tell me, I know what you're going to say. You're going to say Eric Spoelstra is the foundation, and I agree with that wholly, but I think you need to keep a foundational piece.
No, I'm going to tell you, what year is this for Bam Adebayo?
9.
Time to get off the gravy train. This is what I told everybody. Oh, Xavier Howard had 10 interceptions. Trade him right now, dude. Trade him now. He'll never do this again.
He wasn't a foundational piece of the Dolphins defense. He was barely a foundational piece for an hour.
But at that point, he had a hell of a year that you could have gotten something for him and get the hell out of that contract.
But you had to start with the foundation.
You would have saved it. Jimmy Butler, same thing. After that second trip to the finals,
never foundational.
Now's when you trade him. Now's when you unload him. Bam. Now's when you trade him. Now's when you unload him because we have reached the pinnacle. It's going to get worse as he gets older. And that's why I'd rather get him now and I could get the max that I can for him. And I need all these picks because picks and multiple trips to the NBA lottery and maybe get a young guy with multiple picks.
Don't disagree.
You have to do that. This is the only. You must bottom out in order to top out.
I don't disagree with that, but I need
middling.
I need to keep something foundational. And believe me, if you make the right move for the Norm, the right move for Tyler, the right move for Wiggs, you will have young players, you will have picks, and you will have something foundational to guide you through. Now, look. To me, if you were to tell me the Dolphins,
Khalil Ware, am I not developing Khalil Ware?
But he's not foundational now. In other words, when you were talking about the great Dolphins defenses, for example, Xavier Howard never was Zach Thomas. Okay, he was never Jason Taylor. He was never John Offerdahl. There have been guys in the middle of that defense that have anchored it, and then there's other parts, the tangents, the tangential parts. I get that. I think it's a little different with Bam. What I'm telling you, Big O, is I can totally sate your desire for draft choices without having to go there. If you move off Wiggs, you move off Powell, you move Tyler, you have a chance to have both young and picks and a foundation. That's all I'm saying. Because when you go studs, when you go bare to the bottom, you wind up where the Brooklyn Nets are right now. Matter of fact, going to call a timeout right here, Sean, and ask Big O this question. Big O, going to give you 5 seconds. You ready? Yeah. Name me one Brooklyn Net. Go.
Oh God, no! Yes.
Go 3.
Yeah,
2,
I don't care. Yeah, I don't watch.
That's the point I'm making. Yeah. You have to start somewhere, or you will suck. The Nets have draft choices. It doesn't matter. You need a foundational piece. That's the difference. That's all I'm saying.
No, I get it, but if you're not going anywhere, I'd rather maximize that and use it for.
And that's a very good phrase by you.
Future
currency. You're not going anywhere, and I get that.
Going anywhere, so. Let me use
that.
That's
what I would add.
By the way, you're asking to keep your most precious piece that you can maximize the most to rebuild.
And I think you can. And here's the thing is you're not going anywhere is what Big O just said. I don't disagree. Right now, you look at the standings, they're in the play-in. But if you want to go somewhere, you have to look at it that way also. And if you want to go somewhere there, you have to have the foundational piece. I wish their foundational piece was on offense. I wish they had a 30-point score to protect and saying, hey, let's rebuild it. First 30 goes to these guys. Now we need someone to give us the next 80 or 90, I get it, but you don't have that. Tyler Hero could have been that. He doesn't show up. Norm Powell is that. He's 32 years old. Khalil Ware might become that anchor, but he isn't right now. If you were to build a team around Khalil Ware right now, you would be 3, 4, maybe even 5 years out. That's not how this team operates.
No, I know, but it gets us to the lottery. And that's what I want. I'm good. I'm good with getting all the picks from trading everybody, keeping all my young guys, let those guys learn and play, and maybe I end up developing something out of there. Some maybe core players. I know Pallel Larson is going to be a core player for me.
Pallel is going to be a core player, but to get to that level of suckitude, get to that level, it's hard because the Nets suck and the Wizards suck and the Pacers suck and the Pelicans we saw on Sunday, same thing. You have to try so hard.
But Ira, we never suck. So
exactly.
It's all right.
You're not going to suck, and you're not going to get to the top of the lottery without getting lucky, but you can build it because, Big O, you've just have offered my point. Because even drafting in the teams, you've gotten Bam, you've gotten Jaquez, you've gotten Khalil Ware, you still have gotten pieces that can be your future foundational pieces, and you've still played competitive basketball. Look, like anyone else, Lotteryville sucks. We're going to Chicago next on Thursday. It's a reminder. They played the Bulls 3 times in the play-in. That's where they are right now. They're in play-inville right now. How do they make that next step? I think with prudent moves, you can do that without going all the way down to Nets and Pacerville.
Well, I'm watching all the other teams do it, and it's worked out for. If you know what the hell you're doing, you might be able to be, the Houston Rockets. You might be able to be OKC. Yep. You might be some of those teams that are all of a sudden some of the best teams in the league. Detroit Pistons, by the way, which it was a really sweet win for the Heat the other day against those Pistons, and they have sucked forever.
Yes,
but
they said an NBA losing streak record, and they got Cade Cunningham at the top of the lottery. That's why.
Well, yeah, and they got a couple other guys, but the good thing is they hit finally in the last couple of years, and now they got that rebuild the right way. I know they've been sucking forever, but our organization is much better, and they've never done this, and I think it would be refreshing. And by the way, I think it would be exciting for the fans because if they can get a lottery pick, I think that rejuvenates your fan base too, because if you end up getting and landing a young star, I think that just electrifies.
I don't know. The Wizards got Alex Sarr at the top of the lottery. So what? The Hawks got Zachary Ricochet at the top of the lottery. So what? I agree. They're
the Wizards. They're the Wizards, and they're the Hawks.
And there are generational first-round picks. There's Wemby, obviously. There's Cade
Cunningham we
spoke about. Right. It's just a matter of it's also a Cooper flag, right place, right time. It's hard to predict. This is a great upcoming draft, and I agree. And there probably are top 5 franchise players, but the Heat simply are not positioned to be bad enough. And even going by your time, Big O, by the time they get to the February 5th trading deadline, they will have won. This sounds bizarre. Too many games to be bad enough. That's the problem.
I know. It sucks. And by the way, the Trae Young talk is silly, right? I mean, there's no way that he would consider.
I'm going to tell you this, and I'm writing about my Ask Iron SunSentinel.com about this. For the Miami Heat, at the right price,
get me the Tums off the table. Give me the Tums. What?
At the right price, nothing is off the table, nor should it be. So are you saying should the Heat go out and spend for Trae Young like other teams would? No. But if his value becomes so diminished, the Pat Riley school for wayward players and getting him back up to speed is pretty damn good. So what I'm telling you this, if I can get Trae Young for relatively nothing and build value there, I would. What I would draw the line is right here, what Big O has been saying from the get-go. I would not throw a single draft pick in there. And any team that offers a first-round pick, we're out. We're not doing that. We're not, like you said, Big O, sacrificing the future. But if his value is diminished to the point where they just want to get rid of him because they realize with Jalen Johnson and with the young players that they have, they're going in a better direction, I would at least listen, and the Heat always will. The Heat love distressed value. The rest takes care of itself.
Yeah, but I mean, his contract situation. Why would you want
to? He could be a
inherit?
free agent this summer. He could have $50 million coming back next year. I agree with all that. But if you move off some of your other money to make it work, hey, it's the same thing as Tyler. So it's all, matter of fact, Big O, I would ask you this, and this I addressed this.
So he has a player option next year for $50
next
million.
year, or else you're free agent. Very similar to Tyler.
Nobody's giving him $50 million.
So he basically has one more year left and then into free agency. So, Big O, I will just throw it at you right now. Forget about anything ancillary. Who would you rather have right now, Tyler Hero, or Trae Young?
None. I don't want either guy.
But I'm saying, if you could sub one out for the other with no other cost.
Believe it or not, Tyler, because he's taller,
and that's
fine. I can get rebounds. They both score. They both can't play defense.
Tyler's a better three-point shooter. Tyler's a better rebounder. Trae is a far better playmaker. I agree. You know what? And here's the thing.
But I already have another playmaker on the team, so I don't need a bunch of Oompa Loompas running around.
No issue with that. But what I'm saying, and it's funny because for a guy who's losing his hair's still getting longer, so that's interesting. It must be the Big O comb over thing, but I'll leave that for another day. Next.
Damn, man. I'm nearly 60. The fact that I have hair is amazing.
I still got a little here.
Yeah, my listeners actually were saying my hair looks great, actually. You know, I mean, for a 60-year-old, I actually have like real hair. Come on, bro.
I'll get you a Head and Shoulders commercial.
Jesus Christ. And I use Flex, by the way.
And the other issue on our table is this. The Heat have to decide by the 7th, by Thursday, actually by Wednesday, whether to waive Terry Rozier to get a roster spot back and room for a minimum salary, or to keep his money on the books to possibly throw into a trade, because Terry Rozier's salary plus Tyler Hero's salary gets you any player in the league as an NBA maximum $50 million salary. So, yes, I think Andy Ellisberg and Pat Riley, Adam Simon, Nick Harrison will keep the money on the books because they're whale hunters. But it's just a shame to have
one more question on that, a follow-up on that.
Absolutely.
And legally and everything that's going on with the league, shouldn't they keep them just in case they can say, no, here it is, and give us some kind of compensation back?
The only compensation they're going to get is his salary back. I know people are talking about the draft pick and how they got hoodwinked, but the Heat did get a 1.5 year value out of Terry. Whether he was good enough, I don't know. But think about that. They traded a first-round pick. They got all the first half of the season. The entire last season wasn't very good, but they still had him. So I think the league's thought is you got something out of it. It's not like you traded for him and boom, he was automatically out. I hope it happens. I think for now, the best thing about Terry Rozier is that he's $27 million on the books that could be used as matching salary. If by February 5th, the NBA trading deadline, you find that big fish, Giannis, becomes available, something huge happens.
By the way, you could get the ADX right now, 2025 model, $239 a month. The Integra 2025 model, $279 a month. The RDX, $359 a month. And TLX, $339 a month at 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. Go see Larry Schlossberg and company. Tell them that Big O sent you. They will take care of you there at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. Ira, what are you working on the Sentinel so folks can check you out?
Norman Powell saying he wants to be an all-star, but he's going to let others decide, and then saying, but I want to be an all-star. God bless him. He has done every single thing you've asked. Big O, I think you'd agree. He's a Miami Heat player. Says the right things, does the right things, shows up whenever his body allows him. He's been special for the price of Kevin Love and Kyle Anderson. It might be a better deal than you can get at Acura Pembroke Pines, but still, it was a hell of a deal that Pat Riley made. Although I know sitting here, I'd like those heated seats right now, but that's another story for another day. So I wrote about Norman Powell there. And then just watching Tyler Hero's comeback. He spoke to me at Shoot Around today at Target Center. He will be out there. So interesting. Does he start? Does he come off the bench? Does he have to defer to Norman Powell? Hey, I'm like you, Big O. I want to see how that works. And if this is the starting point, hey, NBC national TV game, I think it's going to be fascinating tonight here in Minneapolis.
Khalil where do you stand with him now that you've seen him for a longer stretch and some ups and downs?
I stand with him almost like the tough love the Heat gave us on Whiteside. Your shot blocking is great. Your scoring is great. But I need that second level defense to have a better awareness of when you're the second guy over and not arrive late. And you know what? I have no issue with that. At 21 years old, if you give me the clay to mold, as long as he's malleable and we can do that, he's going to grow as a player. He's not there yet. He'll have to, like you point out, go through growing pains. Yeah. But that seems like it was a hell of a draft choice. I still have very good hopes for Kasparis Yakachonis also and what he's done. Although, and I asked Eric Spoelstra this today, with Tyler back, it might be time to send him to the G League to give him a little more run, because the last thing I need is some 19-year-old kid just wasting away on my bench.
And by the way, I think the wear effort meter has been pretty solid through here.
Yes. And now the wear IQ meter has to go up, and I think he has it in him. So this is a demanding team. They are never going to stop demanding.
I how many kids have the IQ to
right
like
away?
Maybe
it's tough. It's a thinking man's game. Also, I agree.
Yeah, Wade did a nice job of it, but there's few and far between that really make that quick of an adjustment. So that I can deal with that part, but the stuff that we kept talking about motor, I think the motor's been pretty good, man. So that's been nice to see with him. All right, follow him on Twitter at Ira Heatbeat. And, of course, catch his work there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. Ira, as always, thank you. Safe in your travels. We will catch up next week.
Just trying to stay warm with Chicago up next. Thanks, Big O.
More hair on your head would help. Be good.
You've been listening to the Acura of Pembroke Pines Miami Heat and NBA Report with Ira Winderman. When you're looking for award-winning service and great deals from the #1 volume Acura sales dealership in the Southeast United States, you go to Craig's Inn Acura of Pembroke Pines at 15601 Pines Boulevard in Pembroke Pines. After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website.
Alrighty. Hour number 2 of the program. Appreciate all of you tuning in, and we thank Ira Winderman for joining us and talking a little Miami Heat and hair. Yeah, picking on my hair, bro. Jesus Christ, picking on my hair. Anyway.
And Ira, of all people.
Ira, yes. Yeah, so they say he's cold, and I'm like, well, see, you have no hair on your head. I mean, that kind of helps, But anyway, hell, the fact that I have brown hair and I'm nearly sick, and look at my beard. And this is not dyed. This is like the real deal, dude. Like, I wouldn't dye my hair. It's just if it goes gray, whatever it is, Normal guys like dye this to match that. But anyway. So we talked a little bit about the GM stuff last night, and my prediction on who I think will be the guy, Josh Williams. Happens maybe it doesn't, whatever, we'll see. Tua Tagovailoa is a topic, a hot button topic as always. Thank God. I can't wait for it to end because it will end soon. And he'll be gone. They're going to move on. They're going to have a new GM and they'll have a new quarterback, whatever it is. Maybe they get Mac Jones from San Francisco if he's a free agent. I don't know, whatever. Okay. We'll see. But Tua Tagovailoa, people are wondering, well, are they going to keep him? I don't think they'll keep him for next year because he'll be a distraction. And you need to wipe away that distraction. Every week, your emergency third quarterback cannot be Tua Tagovailoa. You cannot have that hanging over everybody's head and everybody's talking about it when, it doesn't matter. So they will part ways and they will make a June 1st cut. As I've been telling you, there'll be a June 1st trade where they can break up the salary within a couple of seasons, and they will find a trade partner, I think. What the Dolphins will do is they'll eat some of the salary so they can get a fourth rounder or something from somebody. And so you're wondering, well, wait a minute. What destination, what place, where could Tua land? What would be a good place? What would be dope for Tua? You know what would be dope for Tua? Take a guess. Give me a guess. Anybody give me a guess? Raiders? Okay. They got number one. They got their guy, I think. But anybody? Come on, let's go. We got a bunch of people. Don't forget, folks, smash the hell out of the like button. Hit the notification bell. You can make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. So give me some guesses. Give me some guesses. Give me another guess because that was a terrible guess. Nah. Yeah. Jets, Arizona. Okay. No. All right. Let's just go with it. Okay. So I don't waste any more time. I think the place where Tua could land is the Atlanta Falcons. Kirk Cousins is going to be gone. He's going to want to play somewhere where they actually have a chance to win right away and play on a one-year deal, and it's going to be more. So he's probably going to go somewhere else. They're on Michael Penix's rookie deal. He's got an ACL tear. So he may not even come back for the beginning of next year or whatever, but you're not paying much. And Miami is going to have to eat the bonus and have to eat some of the salary. So they play in a dome half the year. They play in New Orleans on the road. They play against Carolina and Tampa in southern climates, which the weather is never bad. So most of your games are going to be in friendly-like situations. Okay? They need a quarterback. They also need kind of an insurance policy because Michael Penix has ACL surgeries like you and I change underwears, right? So they actually need somebody, and they probably aren't going to necessarily spend a fortune. So they don't have to spend a fortune on Tua Tagovailoa. And if Tua Tagovailoa can get himself back in shape, go see Nick Hicks, whatever it is, and fix whatever is wrong with him, because there's something wrong with him. Something's wrong with him. But if he can fix it, okay, the Atlanta Falcons is actually a pretty good landing spot for him for environment and everything else going on. It would work very well for Tua Tagovailoa if, of course, he can regain how he looked 2 years ago. Whatever happened with that hip injury, nobody's talking about it. I tried to pry it out of some people in the building, and I think I've been consistent for years telling you when it comes to injuries, it's really hard to get them to talk about injuries. And they won't touch it. Well, I don't know, whatever. None of them will touch it. Okay? But if you start looking at environments, like somebody mentioned New Orleans, they actually like their Shug kid. You know what I mean? So it's not, and I know the Jets thing is just a joke and all anti-Dolphins, stuff that you come up with doesn't really make sense. But Atlanta is one that I would look for because of the environment and everything else, and the Southern teams that are in that division, and the other opponent plays in a dome. And so I just think that it would actually be an interesting fit in every way possible. They actually have decent weapons there, and being in that dome would be an absolute bonus for him. Think about it. It's either 8 or 9 games at home. The 10th game is with the New Orleans Saints. And then you're playing 4 games against Tampa and Carolina. So, most of your schedule, you stay away from all those terrible places. And in a place like Atlanta, New Orleans, what is notorious for those teams when they go to the playoffs? They want to have home field advantage. That's when those dome teams are really dangerous, when they win the 13, 12 games, 14 games, and they have the home field advantage. That's what helps them. Because remember, the Super Bowl will be in a controlled environment always. So it's all these kind of little things that help out. New Orleans was like that in their days with Drew Brees, that they wanted always to get home field advantage because they were a different team at home than they were on the road, and it helps. So if I had to forecast a place for Tua Tagovailoa to get traded to, it would be the Atlanta Falcons because of their quarterback situation, because of the environment, playing indoors, because of playing in that division. It makes a lot of sense. They have a quarterback that they're not paying in Michael Penix, so they're still in his rookie deal for 3 more seasons or 2 more seasons at least? At least 2 more, right? Yeah, because he sat the first year that Cousins played, then he played the second year, and now it is the third. Okay, so yeah. So there you go. So he's got 2 more seasons. That buys them time, and to his deal, also, if they trade for it, it's really 2 more years of that, and then you could also get out of it. To me, it kind of works, and it works for everybody, and Miami could end up getting out of it and get like a 4th, maybe a 5th rounder or something. They're not going to get a 3rd, but they'll get like some kind of 3rd day pick or something like that. So look for that. There you go. All right. Let's switch gears. The man, the myth, the legend. We're going to talk to David Furones, by the way, after Steve Calabro. We'll talk a little Dolphins with him. Mr. Calabro, both you and the Wise Guy went 2-1 last week. Wise Guy won the Carolina game by 0.5 point, lost the San Fran game, and then won the New Orleans game against the aforementioned Atlanta Falcons by 1 point. So that was good. You, on the other hand, went 2-1. So you've had 3 winning weeks now. Okay.
Yes.
You won the Rams game easily against Arizona. You lost the Chicago game against Detroit. Chicago's offense, it's just like, it's one of those things that you just can't rely on.
Yeah.
It's their defense, it's takeaways, it's the run game, but the quarterback, it's like, it's pot luck. Like, he'll make some amazing plays.
Yeah, even in the game. In the game, he's up and down, and then there's good games and bad games. He's all over the map.
Right. He's super talented.
But he's very athletic. Very athletic.
It's sick athleticism.
Yeah.
But he can't do the on-script stuff on a consistent basis. He can't be a quarterback. He's still an athlete out there trying to figure out the quarterback position. But, man, he makes some wild plays. And if the defense is just taking every ball away, and it just,
I can tell you, he could get dangerous with a good coach and 3 or 4 more years.
Yeah,
he's got a good offensive minded coach, right?
Right.
And 2 or 3 more, maybe with that coach, maybe they only need 2 more years.
He doesn't have to carry them.
No.
That's why they're so good.
But the defense is very good. So,
they allow him to kind of grow in all of this. So it's an environment, something we don't do in Miami, for the quarterback to grow. You know what I'm saying? Because you have a defense that is just wicked.
But the other thing too, on that game, now I'm not making excuses, but I thought Detroit was out and counted out. I thought they were doing the not in the game, but before the game.
Right.
I thought they had sort of lost their luster, and then I'm watching the highlights. I'm like, wow, Goff is playing really good.
Yeah.
It was a little bit surprising to me how well Detroit played.
Right.
I thought Detroit played a pretty good. Their offense didn't score a lot of points, but
they've been stinking out the place lately.
But it was just like it was amazing how well they played. I thought they were giving up a little, but that just tells you testament to that coach too. I think that coach is.
Yeah,
I think he keeps men playing.
Next year's going to be a very interesting test for him because it'll see if he doesn't bounce back. Then they're going to say,
it wasn't him, it was Ben.
It was Ben.
Yeah,
but
now
Ben looks like a genius
now
right now. And then, by the way, you made a really difficult decision.
I know what you're going to say.
And you laid the 10 points against the Dolphins,
that was
and you
tough,
took New England. I mean,
could have laid a lot more.
I know you were up all night deciding on that one.
It was. I knew.
I called it the Boston Massacre before it even started.
I did say, if you go back to the previous broadcast, I said that Vrabel will score 40 points. He didn't get to 40. He got close.
38.
He got close, right? But I knew he was gonna. I knew, and the game in the week before too. yeah. I mean, it was just he could have easily scored 45 points easily.
Maybe
if he wanted to. Yeah, maybe 50. Yeah. And
maybe 50, dude.
Yeah,
I mean,
not maybe.
No, we brought in Zach. We brought in the MILF monster.
It was bad. But I want to just say something.
They keep that starting defense completely in there. Yeah, they'll score 50.
I was just looking at the picks, right? And I didn't even talk to the Jersey guy about this, the wise guy. But really, I don't know if you watched the Sunday night game. I happened to turn it on in the fourth quarter. I turned it on in the fourth quarter.
It's horrible football is what we
watched.
watched.
But they were back and forth.
I know it was back and forth action. But
only the fourth quarter. I only turned it on in the fourth quarter.
It's just two terrible teams, dude. How is Zay Flowers being covered by
wide
Patrick
open?
Queen? No, the first touchdown. Patrick Queen is covering Zay Flowers.
Yes.
That's the number one receiver.
Against the linebacker.
A corner has to be covering not Patrick Queen.
You should have two people on Zay.
Easy throw for Lamar. And then the other throw. Zay Flowers is all by himself. And you're like,
no, that was an understatement.
I'm wondering what kind of a defensive coordinator. And then Jalen Ramsey watching him whiff completely on the tight end was hilarious, dude. That was just like, okay, so not only do you have a bad defensive coordinator and is it schemed terribly in the back end, but now you have old Jalen Ramsey,
old people,
just whiffing completely on Likely's play.
However, with less than a minute to go, the Jersey guy was 3-0. He was 3-0.
Yeah.
I literally did, and then the kicker. I mean, you gotta feel for that kid.
Well, no, the extra point.
No.
Remember,
no.
That only mattered because the guy missed the extra point.
Okay, Pittsburgh's kicker misses the extra point,
Yeah.
but then the rookie comes in. He looks like he's 12 years old. He gets up there, right, and he whiffs. I mean, misses wide right on the 43-yarder. I mean, come on. He makes that 9 out of 10 times.
Well, the extra point you're supposed to make too.
No, I know.
By the way, wait a minute. And also, didn't the Steelers also miss a field goal earlier in the game? Didn't they?
Oh, Roswell.
Did the Steelers not miss a field goal earlier in the game?
I only watched the fourth quarter. I watched
the crappy game. I watched
only the fourth quarter. That's when he missed to lose the game.
Yeah. No. You're talking about Baltimore.
Oh, Boswell. Boswell. Is it Boswell or Roswell? Boswell.
Yeah. That's right. Because it was a big thing that Boswell never misses field goals, and he missed a field goal in that game, and so that was another 3 points.
Well, Boswell walked away, unhurt, but I mean, this week was a little bit weird, right? So you got Pittsburgh, in that game, Pittsburgh just like
Houston, right?
Well, no, but the end of the game that was weird, like just seeing how the Carolina Panthers got into the playoffs.
Well,
that whole back door,
division.
the 8 and 9,
another terrible division.
They lose their final game.
The North and the NFC South are horrible divisions. By the way, another reason for Tua Tagovailoa. to go to the Atlanta Falcons. A horrible division, play indoors, all that.
Big O, why not? I kind of got into that conversation late there, and I like the Atlanta spot for Tua. I like any other spot except Miami. But the why not New Orleans?
They already have their guy.
Nah,
the Shug.
Come on, but
no, they like the Shug kid.
Yeah,
they like the Shug. No,
you're
you're not at this point. You have committed to Tyler Shug. You played him through the entire season. He didn't play that. He didn't play bad, dude.
You think Shug's the real deal, though?
I'm not saying he's a real deal. I'm just telling you that he played well enough to say this isn't like what we saw with Glenn Ewers. Tyler Shug actually
played a lot of games.
Pull up Tyler Shug's stats.
He's probably played in more than 10 games.
Yeah, no, and I don't think he played bad actually. Like he played all right, like enough like to say, hey man, there might be something here. And that's what I will say about Tyler Shug, because I didn't know. I don't know about you guys, but I didn't know anything about Tyler Shug.
Hey, did you
know?
You know,
And they drafted him like in the 5th round. And then every time I would start watching him play, because they started with Spencer Rattler, I think, earlier in the season.
Rattler
was
the first half
terrible.
dozen.
He's not. But the Shug kid, every once in a while, I can't say that I watched it from beginning to end every game, but I was like, this guy's like all right. He does like some things out there. He can run actually, and he's got a decent arm, dude. And then they have Olave there. What do you do? 67%.
How many games
for a rookie?
How many games?
5 and 4. It says 11 games.
11 games.
No, it's a bad team. I don't use the one loss.
No, but
him.
11 games.
What were the touchdowns to interceptions? 10-6 is not bad for a rookie. And almost a 67% percentage.
Yeah, that's not bad stats.
By the way, did he run in any touchdowns?
Might have one or two.
Because he rushed. He actually ran some. So I wouldn't be surprised if he actually also had. The Shug kid played all right. That enough that they're not going to bring in a Tua. Put it that way. Whereas the other kid is it's 4 or 5 years in a row that a Michael Penix ends the season with an ACL.
Yeah, no, that's bad.
Yeah.
I got
186 yards.
Yeah, I know he had some. I know he had one at least
186 yards and 3 rushing touchdowns.
Yeah.
So then that's 13
11
touchdowns.
Games, 11 games.
13 touchdowns and 6 interceptions on a bad football team.
Not bad. But here's my question to you:
Not bad.
Is
not bad?
Really, who is going to be in this NFL? What 31 teams? Forget us. Is going to be excited about getting Tua? I mean, who? It's going to be a desperation move, right? It's got to be.
Yeah.
It's got to be. We ran out of quarterbacks,
but it's a thing that you're bringing him in. You're not paying him as much because the Dolphins are going to chew up some of the salary, and you have Michael Penix there, and so you're kind of like leaving it open between the two.
You have some money, I get it, but who else?
And you're not.
Is there any? There's not that many teams.
There's there's not a lot of places. But I also am thinking of climate for him.
Oh, for him, his best.
Like
interest.
somebody mentioned the Jets or somebody mentioned Minnesota. No, dude, because Minnesota plays indoors, but you still got to go play Chicago.
Yeah, and Green Bay.
And Green Bay.
So, but you know what?
Yeah, Detroit's indoors.
But you know what I think?
And then you're going to play other teams up north. It's not a good situation. Whereas in Atlanta, you are in a shell where you find yourself in a lot of very environmentally friendly games, but practically the entire season. It'll be rare that you'll go play a bad game, in a bad area. It'll only be once a year, maybe twice a year. And that will not affect you if you take advantage of your business.
I got to tell you something. I think Tua's in a really bad place. I mean, I think he only ends up off the Miami Dolphins roster if some team is desperate. They got to be desperate.
There's 32 of them. They don't have.
Somebody will be desperate, right?
There's only like
that being
10
said,
teams, 12 teams that are saying, "Oh, we got a guy.
Yeah, and
we're good."
So
and there's only like 6 that are saying, "We got an elite guy," And so there's a boatload of teams.
20 teams that will say, "Hey, if somebody gets hurt, 2 people get hurt."
Dude, they brought back Phillip Rivers.
Yeah.
And Kirk Cousins will have a market next year.
Adequate.
Big time.
Big time adequate guy.
He'll have a team that's close. Well, like Minnesota would want him back for next year because do you want JJ McCarthy? Has he convinced
Seattle?
You? Has JJ
Seattle?
No, Seattle's got their guy, Sam Darnold. No, he's played well. I'm not a Sam Darnold believer still.
Did he? No, but He played pretty good this week.
He played pretty good for 2 years in a row, dude.
And he's had 14 wins
By
twice.
the way, he's the only quarterback in the NFL history to have back-to-back 13-win seasons with 2 different teams.
And there's only 2 other guys that have done it with the same team, and it's Tom Brady and some other superstar, right?
Oh.
So
Sam Darnold has done so. He's not going there.
You're
saying,
not a Sam Darnold believer yet.
I still think that in the big moment, here's where I was wrong. Like LA being the better team, Seattle has proven to be the better team.
Man,
There's no doubt about that.
They got a good defense too.
But when they play, I'm going to pick the Rams because I'm going to go with Stafford over Darnold. I'm sorry. I'm
telling you.
I can't.
I'm telling you, Darnold. We should pray to have in Miami to have problems like Sam Darnold.
Well, no, we don't have because we don't have the environment for him to. We have the Jet environment.
Yeah, well, please.
We have the Browns environment.
Jets.
Our problem. That's our real problem. That people. Oh, we got to go get a quarterback. And what?
Yeah,
we had Marino here, bro, and we still didn't compliment him like we should have. So think about that. We had a freak. We had a once-in-a-lifetime freak that you and I know we'll never see here again in Miami. Whatever next quarterback's coming, I hope is a good one, but he won't be Marino.
Yeah. Well,
he will not be
never
Marino.
Say never. Never say never now. Come on now. Never say never. We can get lucky. Blind squirrels get a nut every once in a while, too.
Let me tell you something. When I used to go to practice, we're talking practice, just to watch Marino, that was something I'd pay for.
Well,
the man's warming up and he's throwing the ball to people off the floor, ricocheting. He's throwing over his back and it's going like this and it's going straight into somebody's chest. Like he's doing trick throws.
Well, I tell you.
Like it's stupid shit that you're like, what the? Have you ever seen anybody?
Big O's doing prop. It's a prop. He's a prop podcaster now.
Like, there'd be a guy standing, I'm not shitting you, 20, 25 yards away. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a lot of feet. And he'd
75.
like this, and the ball would go whack. And it'd be like I'm telling you, like Tua didn't have that kind of mustard on it. And he was throwing it like this.
Underhand. Overhand.
Like
Backward on the hand.
Backward overhand.
Overhand.
Like what is that? He would warm up. He would warm up in the weirdest ways, but at the same time, he was entertaining your ass. And then he would do things in practice that you're like, this guy's not real. He's not human. And so practice was fun with Marino, dude.
So I've been to a ton, like probably 6 Dolphin charity golf events. Played golf with Duper, played golf with a bunch of receivers. They all say the same thing. Drill a hole in your chest. When you throw it, like you come across the middle, obviously you're going to get hit by somebody, the defender, right?
Yes.
But you got to worry about the ball.
Yes.
Like putting a bruise on your chest like you're going to have for 2 weeks.
Yes.
They said he threw it like a shotgun.
Yes.
And so
and he had accuracy.
Yeah,
that's the other thing about you. Yeah, lots of guys throw like a shotgun, but they don't know where it's going.
They're Nolan Ryan.
Like the best throw that Marino had in his entire career, and he did it like 100 times, is you can go see highlights and you'll see Duper or Clayton just ahead of the DB, and the ball whips right by the ear of the DB, right into his, and that's how quick the release was, that he caught the DB not looking for that split second. And boom, and it goes right there. Bah! And Clayton just gets it in stride and just takes off, or Irving Fryer or Mark Duper. He used to do that all the time. And it's just ridiculous shit that he did. And we didn't compliment that guy.
Never say
we
never.
never gave him a running
never
back.
Say never.
No,
Come on now. We might have somebody come around.
It'll happen, but it won't. I will not be around.
You're gonna live a long time.
I'll be up there with my old man, like I used to watch Marino. I'll be up there watching that next Marino that they ever get, because I know I'm not going to see it. You just don't get another Wade. It just happens
with the quarterback.
It just happens once in a generation, dude.
Staying with the quarterback thing. Do you know who played quarterback for the Green Bay Packers this weekend?
Oh, the
Cone.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So Cone's a nobody, but it's hard to imagine that Cone's a nobody because he played 4 years at University of Houston, which is a high-powered air offense, right?
Definitely.
But nobody really knows him. Like, I mean, you had to think about it. I heard him last week, right? So now the media, regular media, I'm reading the story this morning, giving Terry Bradshaw. I'm standing up for old people on this one. They're giving Terry Bradshaw grief because he didn't know. Because he said, I don't know. But he said it like, I don't know him because he's a nobody.
Right.
I don't know the Green Bay quarterback.
Right.
Because nobody knows him.
Right. And by the way,
come on now. And then the media's beating up on Terry. He's too old.
I don't know.
He should have known him. Like, give me a break. Nobody on that set knew him.
Terry's kind of, old at this point.
He's old,
and
but
you
he's
gotta and to pick on Terry at this point, it's like, bro, you gotta expect that he doesn't do any of that shit.
I think he was
anymore.
doing it as a joke. I think it was a joke. I don't know the guy. He's a guy.
I know. I think he really does it.
I don't know what his name is.
I think he's. I'm Terry Bradshaw. I don't need to go look up the third string quarterback. That's not important. When we start the playoffs, I'll worry about Love, not the guy that's the third string. You know what I mean?
Things that matter, right?
By the way, very important to look at this because Malik Willis has barely played well, but already got injured. So it's something to think about, because he is a running quarterback. So, it's interesting. Malik had some moments because he came from Tennessee and he was a bust at Tennessee, and they've actually gotten something out of him. Now he's going to be a hot commodity in the offseason. But
I don't like him.
I would worry about durability because here's a guy that barely played and was already injured.
So before we go on to the quarterback thing, I just want to interject. I'm bouncing around here a little. I'm bouncing around. Well, you weren't here. We gave away we gave away. You had to go to the game, right? We gave away the SUV Mercedes. Beautiful. A woman won it. She loved it. She's a nice, loyal customer of ours. And she had to think about it. She was like, she wasn't sure. Sometimes we give a cash option. And she said, no, I'm taking that Mercedes.
It's a beautiful car,
She took that Mercedes.
I would have taken it.
Oh,
well, I'm sorry. My wife would have taken it.
Yeah. No, but think about it. And you know what you do? If you win it and you give it to your wife, you put one of those big red bows on it.
Right.
And you say, honey, you might as well go all in on it, right?
Right.
She's going to have the car. So maybe you get a little brownie points. And you put the big red bow on there and say, I did this especially for you, right?
Well, no, I can't do that because then she's going to say, you spent what?
I can't believe it. No, I got lucky. In here.
Where? We don't have this kind of money. The hell is wrong with you? We can't afford this.
No.
Get your ass out
Come on
there.
now, Big O. You're being humble.
You better go get 5 more jobs.
You're going to have to do double the amount of podcasts now. But at any rate, we gave away that. And I mentioned to your viewers last week, and it was an hour old then. Somebody won the $200,000 Ace King Royal.
That's awesome.
Do you know how hard that is? You have to have an Ace King Royal of spade, and you must have the ace and the king in your hand.
Wow.
Right? So you get pocket Ace King spade. Holy crap. Now I got to see what shows are on the board, right? And sure enough, he won.
That is awesome.
$100,000. The guy's
so what's
wait, I want to show something. This is why people need to come to Hialeah Park Poker Room. One, for the Ace King Royal. I'm going to explain something in a minute. And then, of course, the Mercedes downstairs in slots. It was a $200,000 Ace King. But the guy who won it gets $150,000. The other players on the table split the 50. So you're just hanging there. You got a pair of twos, right? Or whatever crap you got, a 2-3, and the guy wins the Ace King Royal. You pick up. There happen to be 6 guys picking up, or not 7 guys pick up 7. 6 guys picked up 7,000. 6 or 7 guys. Picked
That's
up
beautiful.
So you're on the table.
You
got a shitty hand. The guy picks the Ace King Royal, and you walk home. You go home on New Year's Day with 7 G's. Come on now. I'm trying to figure out, legitimately, I'm a common sense guy. The whole South Florida's got to be in this poker room, and it is growing. We're growing like 30% a month now because I think people are finally catching on.
They're figuring it out.
They hear Steve Calabro
say out the
it,
cash.
But it's legitimate. It is.
And by the way, for the ladies, they love the slots, very loose slots,
and chance to win. Okay, so now chance to win the Mercedes. That was last weekend. Every Saturday in January, chance to win $250,000. I mean, if you're going to play on Saturday, you got to almost be.
Come on out.
You got to have your head examined.
By the way,
go anyplace else.
Smoke-friendly casino. There's no smoking inside. They have places designated outside for you to smoke, and they also have the smoking hot slots outside. So there's another area where smokers can play the slots, but inside the casino,
nice and comfortable.
Nice and comfortable. By the way, so what's the next big giveaway? Because it's Bitcoin, it's Mercedes, it's
We're working
Alfa
on
Romeo,
February.
it's gold.
We have the idea for February.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I like it a lot, but I haven't run it by ownership yet.
Okay,
I'm gonna run it by them tomorrow, so I'm gonna have to wait till next week. I have it. I have actually February's, March's, and April's.
Wow!
But we like to, we're a community of good managers here, and so the owners have their input, and I want to talk to them about it tomorrow. So it hasn't been fully approved, so I can't announce it yet. But a great thing, it's in that spirit of Valentine's romance. You're a romantic kind of guy.
Okay.
Right?
What was last year's? He's not going to repeat it. You can say it. He's not going to repeat it. Oh, his and her role.
Oh, shit. We're thinking about a version of that. Oh. A version of that. He's not going to repeat it because we do so many.
Oh, it's his and her Cartiers.
No. We're pricing that right now. Yeah. I can't get anything by you guys. I guess I can announce it. We've been here so long. But there's a little bit of a twist to it. There's a smidge of a twist to it. But I'm not going to mention. And you won't guess that because I'm not going to allow you to guess it.
All right. Yeah, Cartiers or
or Rolexes. Come on. I mean,
you can't miss.
You walk in. Think about what we're doing. We're putting Rolexes on Rolexes, Cartiers, Mercedes in people's hands. I mean, come on. It's pretty interesting, to say the least. And we're giving some decent picks. It just shows you. So I've been doing this 3 weeks, trying to inspire
Great
the
picks.
church.
What are you talking about? Decent picks. You're winning.
I guess I'm 5-3. 5-3.
Are you? 2-1, 2-1, 1-0.
2-2. Yeah. 5-3, right? And so I mean that's
No. You're 5-2. The Green Bay doesn't count. I threw that out. You keep counting it. You went 1-0-1, and then 2-2-1.
It's hard.
2-1.
It's hard, but we're giving you at least
5-2-1.
So we're giving you good picks. Jersey guy had a good week. I mean, you know how to sign up for the app right there.
I mean, everybody knows that if Jordan Love is taken out of the, to resting for that week, that game.
It wasn't just Jordan Love too. It was a couple other guys.
It was a couple. Yeah, right. It was several other guys. But like, okay, well, that bet's done. Of course, if you still are laying that bet,
to finish it, I just want to end with this. I'm just going over all the game, not giving my picks, not giving the Jersey guy picks, but I'm looking at the playoffs, right? Looking at the Hialeah Park, sports app powered by Hard Rock Sports Bet Live. So think about this: Carolina at home is getting 10 points. Rams. I mean, it's possible.
Rams should kill them.
Rams should, but
Carolina is like this.
They've been pretty good at home.
Carolina is like a team that I wouldn't touch that game.
No, I wouldn't either. But it's you got to bet now. You got the over under, and that's 46.5. It's a tough bet.
I don't know if I touch that game.
All right, let's move to the next one. Chicago and Green Bay. I mean, basically, it's a pick 'em. It's in Chicago. Chicago's -1. I guess they're slightly favored, or one could say they're underdogs because they're at home. They're giving them.
I'm actually going to go with Chicago because they're home.
Yeah, I mean,
there's not much of a difference.
Pick 'em,
Yeah, there's not much of a difference.
Now here's the next one. This one, I think this could get. This is a very hard one. -1. Buffalo is -1.
Oh, I'm.
But they're in Jacksonville.
I'm taking Jacksonville.
I think Jacksonville's hot. I think Jacksonville's hot, and I think
dude.
Buffalo's been sputtering to say the least.
Yeah,
and McDermott is going to catch heat now.
Buffalo's have a defense, dude.
Yeah, so
and their weapons, their offensive weapons aren't outside of the running back. They're all and good tight ends, but their offensive weapons, they're not that impressive.
The next game, I love, and I know this one's going to sound home. I
actually love the Jacksonville game,
but I love the next one. I'm going to say. Did I mention I'm from Jersey?
Yes.
The South Jersey is near Philly.
Oh, okay.
The whole
That's
South
right.
Jersey thing. There's two New Jerseys. There's North Jersey and South Jersey. Years ago, when we were growing up, there was only 2 zip codes. You were in North Jersey, you're a 201er. If you were in South Jersey, you're like a hick, 609er. Like it just wasn't built up yet, So they had 609ers all being hicks, right? They called them 609ers, right? But I love this game, and I know it's going to sound like a homer because I last 30 years in South Jersey. Philadelphia is at home, -4.5 against San Francisco. San Francisco's beat up. Philadelphia's going to kill them.
I don't know about kill them because that offense is terrible.
No,
I don't know about kill them. I don't know. I would worry about that game.
I'm telling you, they're going to win by 10.
Well, it depends on who San Francisco gets back for the playoffs here. I don't know who they're getting back. I haven't looked at that yet.
The only guy
we'll
they got
find
a
out
chance,
on Friday.
Trent Williams, is the guy they got a chance for. Everybody else, they don't have a chance getting back.
I don't know. I don't know who's coming back at all. Is
I don't
Fred
know.
Warner at all coming back?
Yeah, I don't think Warner's coming back.
I gotta look it up.
I think Philadelphia.
It's only
Philadelphia's
Tuesday right
tough.
now.
Philadelphia's tough. Like I love when I
Philadelphia is tough, but their offense is dog shit. No, it is. It is dog shit.
Maybe
it's
because I
dog
spent
shit.
that weekend 2 weeks ago with my son.
Yeah, it's dog shit.
I was like
terrible offense.
I will tell you, the fans there are insane.
Yeah, I know.
In a decent way. Like if you go against them, they're horrible. But if you,
I don't know about it. I don't think anything about the Philly fans are decent.
I went to lunch with dinner with my son at the Nut Bar. The Nut Bar. Just the fact that you would name your bar the Nut Bar, right? Delicious cheeseburger, I may add, right? I had like cheeseburgers and beers and shot and beers, 8 people, and the bill was $117. This is the greatest place in the world, right? Very blue collar. Then we walked, I told you this, to the Monkey Club, which was fantastic. I think this name Dennis owns the Monkey Club. Please, everybody that's within 2 hours of Philadelphia, go to the Monkey Club. All right, it's just and just watch the Eagles. Understand it's just a night out. You're not converting from a Miami Dolphin fan to an Eagle fan, but maybe I'm biased, but I think the Eagles are way better than San Francisco. Next one. New England against the Chargers. New England's -3.5. It's in New England. I don't know. I think I like New England. I'm leaning towards New England. And the next one, you said it. Houston versus Pittsburgh.
Oh,
Houston's
Houston.
-3.
That defense.
Those last
that defense
three seem
is going to
easy.
kill them.
Those last 3 seem a little easy.
That defense is going to kill Pittsburgh. That whole division sucks. Pittsburgh, Baltimore, Cincinnati, the Browns. That's a terrible division. That's just bad football.
But we'll see. We'll see. But anyhow, a little preview of the playoffs.
None of those teams deserve to be in the playoffs.
You mean Pittsburgh?
None of them.
How
AFC North deserves nothing.
Oh, Carolina. Come on. It's not even close.
No, they're not there. It's Pittsburgh.
No, that's the South.
That's the South.
NFC South. NFC
that's
South,
the other
yeah.
division. That's, that's
who's the other one but with Pittsburgh?
Browns, Cincinnati, and Baltimore. Terrible teams.
Nobody else is in there.
Yeah, that's it. It's only one. Only one made it.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Only one made it from the South and only one made it from the North.
But
because they're terrible and they don't even deserve to be just because they won their division. They're horrible.
And they won it in a crappy way.
Horrible.
I guess it could have been. Even if we'd be saying the same thing if Baltimore was in there.
It's just that the NFL playoffs are watered down. The league is watered down.
But it looks like all professional sports, there's too many teams to
There's
make
too
the
many.
first round, right?
I agree.
But that's for money.
Yeah.
I hate to
That's
say
it.
it, but that's money. But anyhow, want to win some money? Come right here. Hialeah Park.
Damn
local
right.
Room or Hialeah Park slots. We got 250,000. That would be. I think your wife would like that better than the Mercedes.
She'd like that better than me.
No, I wouldn't go that far now. I wouldn't go that far.
All right, my
I
brother.
know her. She's a true good. Am I out? No, just she's a true good wife.
She is.
So she would like you, but she would like the $250,000 very close to how much she
yes,
likes
definitely.
you.
She might like me a little more because of the $250,000. That's what it is.
Adios.
You got it, brother. You're good. Take it easy. The great Steve Calabro. All right. We're ready to go. All right. The one and only David Furones. Let's talk a little Miami Dolphins with our Welton Ray Miami Dolphins report.
All rise, football fans, as the Welton Ray Miami Dolphins report with David Furones is in session.
Welton Ray has more than 62 years of litigation experience handling insurance disputes. They are committed to resolving even the toughest insurance claims quickly. Call them for a free consultation. 954-966-4646. Here's Miami Dolphins insider David Furones.
All right. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. Follow him on Twitter at David Furones _. Don't forget, folks, please hit the like button, smash the hell out of that like button, hit the notification bell, and of course, you can always make a donation to the show, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. How you? How you feeling, my brother?
Oh, well, apparently better than you after what I just.
Yeah, I still. It's 6 weeks and I have this cold, bro. 6.
Oh, no way.
Weeks.
No way.
6 weeks.
Yep. Most of the time I can barely tell through all our appearances. So I mean, you do a good job of hiding it, but yeah, I mean, I am tired from covering the whole season, traveling on a short turnaround from the Patriots game to get back early for all the end of season stuff in Miami Gardens. But just knowing that was the finish line, and then really now the big offseason begins as the Dolphins are going full force into these GM searches for all these candidates and requesting interviews, and then of course we see Mike McDaniel is still there. So I know you probably got plenty to talk about here on this.
Yeah, it's just all right. So what are your thoughts on the circle of idiots? Stephen Ross, Danny Silman, Tom Garfinkel, Brandon Shore, Dan Marino, Troy Aikman. Your thoughts on this whole GM search and how they've gone about it? Because to me, none of this makes sense. They continue to play the human Jenga shit where they are going to keep everybody and just slide in the GM that they just, fired. So your thoughts on a group that really, if you really think about it, outside of Troy Aikman, nobody's qualified to do this job on finding and determining who the GM is.
Wow. Wow.
No, Tom Garfinkel's not a football guy, but all of a sudden he wants to be a football guy. Brandon Shore's a numbers guy, but he wants to be a football guy. Danny Silman might have won his fantasy league last year. Now he wants to be a football guy. Stephen Ross doesn't know shit about football and wants to be a football guy. Dan Marino doesn't follow the league. He doesn't go and interview people and talk to all kinds of people. He just hangs around, plays golf, and goes talk to some of the big sponsors, and maybe he's walking around the building where they say, hey, Dan, you want to look at this quarterback for a minute? Great. Yeah, that's it. Outside of Troy Aikman, who's the only that guy that goes to all NFL buildings, is watching teams practice for a couple days before that game, is talking to personnel directors, college directors of scouting, assistant college directors of scouting, talking to the owners, talking to the head coach, having production meetings. He's the only guy out of that group that legitimately has connections with NFL people on a weekly basis. So I'm just going to be brutally honest here. You got a group of unqualified people trying to make a really important decision for this team and the future of the team. So that's my point of view. I'd like to know what your point of view is of this clown show.
Boy, wow, clown show too. But I mean, I understand where you're coming from.
Have you not watched the last 15 years?
15, you could go, 15. Well, right.
No,
15
I'm just saying. Well, I'm just saying. No, it's definitely over 30. But I'm just saying, while this fool has owned the team for the last 15, 16 years, I'm just going by what he's done. So I'm just saying it is a clown show. So go ahead.
No, I understand it, and it's frustrating every time that it's like just slide one piece in and see if that's what fixes things. So I mean, I understand every expression of frustration with this organization. I do like the way they're going about the GM. If we're just talking about the GM search, then I like the way they're hitting the ground running. They've known for more than 2 months now. So October 31st, Halloween, that they're going to be looking for a new GM when they fired Chris Grier on that date. So putting a plan in place, ready to just immediately get after it. I like that 6 names came out on Monday. It was like a full-fledged attack mode. We've got our targets. We're requesting to interview them. We're bringing them in. You see that they come from common traits like that they are from winning organizations, franchises that have consistently won in recent memory. So 3 from the 49ers. Now, that also bodes well for who is not your boy and Dolphins coach Mike McDaniel, if it's someone that he has previously built a rapport with, like I hear, especially Josh Williams, the director of scouting and football operations, who he has a strong rapport with. But then also they have assistant GM R.J. Gillen from the 49ers and the VP of player personnel, Tariq Ahmad, or Ahmad, I'm not sure the pronunciation, but 3 of them from the 49ers. So if you're keeping McDaniel, then you see how they're trying to formulate themselves as 49ers East, 49ers Southeast, whatever you want to make it, where it's building the way they do, where you can go slide in a Brock Purdy and make him look phenomenal. Mac Jones can step in and work well when he quarterbacks that offense and make it that quarterback proof type of team that is just built well at every position and has standouts all across the roster where you could win even if you don't have the greatest quarterback. And then if you do hit on a great quarterback, then you're really in a good spot. But Alec Hallaby from the Eagles, I've heard a lot of good things about. And like John Eric Sullivan, he's kind of like that first name you're hearing in every step of the way. First guy to get an interview request. From my understanding, they're interviewing him today. So first one to actually get that virtual interview done. And then I've mentioned just about all of them except John McKay, Los Angeles Rams assistant GM. So, and there's a new one that just came out today, Alexander from the Chargers. So I do like how they're attacking it, hitting the ground running, finding these candidates and doing it with a lot of intentionality. Like that's a word I always hear from football coaches and such, being intentional about it. So I do like that approach.
Yeah, and I would imagine that this is a farce, right? It's going to be one of the Niners guys. That would only make sense. You pluck the guy from the Niners, go get a guy that he worked with the Niners. I already said that Josh Williams is going to be the guy. I talked to somebody in the building in San Fran and a couple in Miami, and kind of feel that Josh Williams is going to be the lead dog when it's all said and done. He is I would think favored in that building right now in Miami Gardens. So we'll see. But dude, you're not giving Champ Kelly any inside track there?
Okay, well, that's just naming the outside candidates, of course. But yes, Champ Kelly, of course, is also involved in this and interviewing. But a lot of strong candidates out there. And you're right about the 49ers aspect of it because you kind of just like your odds. I was listening a little bit at the end of your previous segment, and if I was a casino manager, I would like my odds that it's a 49ers guy when there's 3 of them there among the candidates.
Yeah. So I think that that would be the guy. We'll see what ends up happening. To me, this is a mess because unfortunately, as I talked about before you came on, Tom Garfinkel is not just a business guy. He's making football decisions now. And so that means he's part of roster building and free agency and all that. Brandon Shore, he's not just a numbers guy. He's making a decision here on GMs. This tells me that these guys are involved in football decisions. And this is why when Tom Pelissero, who's a league arm, goes out and says, well, they're looking for a scout. To use that adjective to describe a GM, that's pretty like directional right there. That's, and it's almost like saying, yeah, we need a guy to find us talent, but we don't really need him for all the other things that a GM would do. Even though the Josh Williams guy is a football operations guy also, not just scouting. So that's why I also think that he's the lead dog when it's all said and done and will be the GM of the Dolphins. For me, that's the way I look at it. But it's just a weird dynamic that's going on with these people. And, I don't think you're creating a dynamic that anybody can succeed, put it that way, because while Wayne Huizenga failed, he had the right idea. Okay, I'm a garbage guy. I run Blockbuster Video, whatever, all that. That's who I am on this business. I'm not a football guy. Let me go get Jimmy Johnson. Let me go get Bill Parcells. Let me go get Nick Saban. He had the right idea. He went and got a czar and said, yo, like Dave Dombrowski, I got my czar. You run the baseball team. He gave Bill Torre and Bobby Clark, you guys run the hockey team. He never, ever made a decision. He never said, I like this guy. He never met with Ndamukong Suh and said this. He never went to go try to, recruit Tom Brady. Wayne Huizenga did none of those kind of things with any of the sports that he owned. But I think he did the right thing. He went and found the czar and got the hell out of the way. We don't have people that are getting the hell out of the way. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, well, I mean, understand these are all the people who this new GM hire would be working with. So, they want to find out who they're. That's why you have all these hands coming in and figuring things out. And yes, I understand the scouting aspect of it. That's kind of when you talk about what if Tom Garfinkel does the business side and Brandon Shore does the numbers, then you're talking about just filling in the hole. Like, all right, we need a scout. We need someone who
is Andy Ellisberg telling Pat Riley who to draft?
Right.
No. He's just telling him the ramifications of this free agent, of that trade, and the financial things, and how I can work. Hey, Andy, can you make this work? Okay, let me go hit the calculator. Pop, 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 pop. Yeah, I can make it work. I can't make it work. That's it. That's what Andy Ellisberg does. He's not out there trying to tell, oh, no, this guy's got a great post game, and no, you're wrong, scout, whatever. No, that's not what Andy Ellisberg is doing. That's my point, dude. We have too many chefs in the kitchen, unfortunately, and that's what it looks like to me. Yeah. We got people making, dude. Who the hell is Danny Silman to be deciding who the GM is? Seriously, who is Stephen Ross? Why? Because they're the owners. Wayne Huizenga was an owner, and Vinny Viola isn't telling Bill Zito who to draft, dude. He's not. It's just not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, then that's what I want to know is once because this is the interview process, this is the process of bringing someone in. So I understand them being involved in this aspect, but then I want to see how much they actually do allow the GM to do his job. Because if you want to go bring someone in who has all his previous experience from these winning organizations, then really just go ahead and let that man cook. Let that man go in and put his fingerprints all over the product. I also want to know how much that Dolphins power brass is also listening to Troy Aikman. If they brought him in, which at least is what would you call it? A move that shows some awareness is like, okay, we do need an outside voice because yes, we are this group that has consistently put out a failing product on the football field. So let's bring in an outside voice, which is why I do like that aspect of it. But I want to know how much they also listen to him. And if it's not just if it's not just a situation where let's get into whatever they want to do.
Let me ask you something. Let's step off and let's step into reality right now. When that list of 7 guys was put together, do you think Troy Aikman put 3 San Francisco 49ers on that list? Come on.
That felt like Mike McDaniel was loading up the ballot.
Yeah, bro. Come on, dude. That's my point. He's making maybe he suggested the guy from Philadelphia, but somebody else suggested 3 guys, a fishnet approach to San Francisco, bro. I mean, Hey, they're in Pier 61 and they're catching a whole bunch of seals right now.
I was just gonna make that reference. What's which we'll be going there now next year. The Dolphins will be playing out there. I remember I passed by. What is it called? The Fisherman's Wharf over there.
Yes, the wharf.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah. I remember passing by there last time in 2022. So
did you have a sourdough bread bowl of soup?
Absolutely, I had exactly that over there.
All right,
yes,
all right.
Yeah.
I'd be disappointed if you didn't have it. I'd be disappointed. But that's my point. This is all kind of a farce, bro. This is not real. This is a guy that's going to have to work with these people, and they may make decisions that he may not agree with. And so you're not really hiring a football czar. You're hiring a GM that's a scout to kind of, again, what I've been calling for years. It's human Jenga. It's what they do, bro. It's human Jenga. That's what they play here. And I just don't get it's Pat Riley, end all be all, bro. You know what I mean? It's Bill Zito, end all be all. And that, to me, that's the best way you run an organization. That you have a guy that is the leader, man, and then everybody follows that leader, and everybody has the same vision. Here, we have everybody that is coming. This is why they told me 2 weeks ago from the building, it's just a place where everybody's trying to save their asses. And this round table, this circle jerk here is exactly what it is, dude. I mean, people that are unqualified trying to make these kind of important decisions. It's insane.
Yeah,
insane.
You just have to see if they do give this GM the authority to go ahead and just run the organization. Because like you said a couple of weeks ago, that's what they need is someone who is at the top and makes all these decisions. But I think back to, because you're mentioning McDaniel and the 349ers and how McDaniel survived Black Monday, so he's still around. Despite no official statement that the team released, marking a pivot from how the organization handled last year, retaining McDaniel and Greer. So no statement, but you could just see for yourself that McDaniel is still around. But I think back to when we actually spoke to Champ Kelly, a few of us who traveled to Spain at one of the practices there. And what was important to him was showing that he could work with Mike McDaniel. That was one thing that stood out to me as far as his comments, and that became very evident to me. I remember saying it on your show when I did it from my hotel room in Madrid, that it seems like this organization is willing to back McDaniel, continue on with him, because why would the interim feel that is one of the most important things he needs to show? So that tells you he was gathering, McDaniel staying, and I need to show that I could work with him. That's my way into taking on this role. So no surprise then when the GM candidates come out and 3 of them are 49ers.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious what kind of shell game we're playing here. All right, Tua Tagovailoa, I talked about it. What is your prediction? What's his future here in Miami? Does he end up here for next year? Does he end up cut, or does he end up traded?
Yeah, I'm actually working on doing a whole salary cap analysis right now. And then what I do say in that segment is I think the Dolphins will just end up cutting him. You try to trade him first, but I just don't see it probably. Lord willing, good luck. Hopefully it does work out and you find a taker in some way. But I just think about what the Dolphins might have to give up in terms of the payout on the contract, or if it's draft picks, like draft capital you have to lose just to trade him. So I wouldn't see it going down that way. I think maybe if it's the post June 1 cut where you take on $67.4 million of the dead cap for this coming 2026 season and then lay the rest on 2027, then you at least are in within range of getting yourself salary cap compliant before the start of the new league year, coming in about 2 months and change, early or March 11th, I believe is the date. If you do that, and then also the release of Tyreek Hill, which can help facilitate it because you save $23.65 million against the cap or toward the cap doing that. So that might be the path very well. Now, this all would just be up to the general manager that comes in. So we don't even know who the person is who will be making such a decision. But I just see that as kind of like the simplest, kind of most likely path between Tua and Tyreek as far as just getting to that point, and then you go from there between the whatever you do with other veterans who are on the roster, whether this person then wants to go and trade off veteran pieces to stockpile on draft picks as they start a new roster building regime, or if it's like keep some of that talent around for this soft rebuild and not make it so much of a staunch rebuild. And then between that and the internal free agents picking up a few small spending pieces just to fill out the roster, building through the draft, I think will be key. But that would be the starting point, kind of, is Tua and what to do with him, which I think might end up being the release at the end of the day, and then move on from there with Quinn Ewers and someone else who you bring in as the competing quarterbacks next season.
Yeah, I think he'll be traded. And then second option will be either traded or cut, because I don't think he comes back at all. Right. I think you have to get rid of him because you cannot have him listed as your emergency quarterback the whole season, and it's a topic and all that. You got to rip the scab off. But
and paying him 54 guaranteed, 54 million guaranteed as an emergency third quarterback.
Yeah, no, it's yeah. You got to just take the cap hit and move on. I think he gets traded to the Atlanta Falcons.
And then what? Kirk Cousins comes here?
No, Kirk Cousins goes in free agency. They probably decide to break away because they've got a lot of guarantees. They'll probably, part ways with him.
They just restructured the contract today too.
Oh, wait a minute. So then what happens if he restructures?
I haven't looked that deep into it, but I mean, I just saw Jeremy Fowler put it out.
Then that means
either Field Yates put it out.
If he restructured it, then that means he's either hurrying it up to get cut on the March date because they put more guarantees in there. Then is that what they did? So in other words, I don't think he has a future there. I'm pretty sure they're going to part ways with Kirk Cousins, and he'll be a free agent, if anything. So, and you have Penix under contract for a couple more years. Let me see. It says the Falcons restructured Kirk Cousins' original 4-year, $180 million deal, slashing his 2026 base salary from $35 million to $2.1, while adding $67.9 guaranteed in 27. That vests March 13, setting up a major decision for the Falcons on his future, which likely involving a post-1 June release. That's what I thought, bro. Yes, So Kirk Cousins is gone. Okay, so you keep him. And then they're going to have some cap issues too, but they're not going to have a lot of options outside of Penix, right? And so what they do is they trade for Tua. Miami eats some of his salary. They get like maybe a 4th or a 5th rounder from Atlanta in the trade, like they did with Tannehill. He plays in a dome the entire year. So you've got 8 or 9 games at home. You play in New Orleans on the road, so that's another dome game, and you only play in Carolina and Tampa, those other 4 games, so the other 2, in other words. So now most of your games are going to be in friendly weather or indoors, okay? And if you look at where Atlanta is right now, they're probably not going to buy themselves a starting quarterback, so they could go get a guy like Tua, try to resurrect his career, and have a little battle between him and Penix to see and Tua would actually fit in that system with those kind of guys and that talent that they have there. So my prediction is Tua gets traded to the Atlanta Falcons. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah. I mean, my first choice would be a trade. So I'm just like kind of figuring it doesn't end up working out to find a trade partner.
But there's not a lot of places. You know what I mean?
And low key, actually, because I had this discussion with some friends last week, I like Atlanta for Tua for a lot of the reasons you said. And then they also have a left-handed quarterback who's not the tallest guy. I mean, if you go to your backup, like you have the same, you don't miss a beat. So it's a situation where, I mean, not a lot changes for that team if if you go at I would imagine they give Penix every opportunity to start because he's the guy they drafted so highly, and it probably starts off with Tua as a backup, but then
maybe not. Maybe they open the competition.
Maybe down the road. I would think maybe down the road if Penix struggles or he continues to get hurt like he did this year, and Kirk Cousins had to go in multiple times. Then maybe, but I would imagine it's start off as a backup, and then it could be a lot like that Ryan Tannehill situation in Tennessee, where first it was Mariota was still there, right, at the beginning.
Yeah. He went there with Mariota starting, and he ended up, gambling that he would end up starting, and that's why I would say that maybe he has, a chance overall. He threw 9 touchdowns and 3 interceptions in 9 games. That's not very good.
And if there's one team based off last year that looked at Tua and was like, whoa, this guy's elite, it might be the Falcons, because that's the game he had his best game in. Swollen eye and all, he threw for 4 touchdowns in that one. Right. So they might
if Tua can get back his body from 2 years ago, because I don't see the one thing I cannot get anybody in the building to talk about, they will not talk about his body. And every time I ask somebody, come on, bro, something happened. And I don't know. I don't know. They will not. They never touch injuries in that building, and I don't blame them. The HIPAA and everything else. So I get all that, but I don't care what anybody tells me. Something happened to that dude when he suffered that injury a year and a half ago or whatever the hell it was. He has not been the same ever since. I don't know.
But it's fair to say. Yeah.
Yeah. So, it is what it is. So just a crazy thing. And I don't know how this is being sold to the fan base next year. This whole craziness, dude. I really don't understand it.
Oh, okay. Back on the GM search and all that.
No, everything. Just the GM search. The whole people above, the people that are just. It's so dysfunctional. It just is. None of this makes any sense. I don't know how you sell hope. Is my problem with all this. That's really what I have an issue with.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, but this is what we would know from following this team for decades.
All right. Well, make sure you get Adam Lichtenstein on the damn beat. Maybe we'll win that way. All right. Follow him on Twitter at David Furones _. Don't forget Welton Ray, proud sponsors of our program. 954-966-4646. The bookend tackles the Dolphins wish they had. Or any quarterback that the Dolphins have, wish they had Welton Ray, because Jeff and Daniel get it done. Bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. I've witnessed it myself. They brought Progressive to their knees. Call them. The consultation's completely free. Listeners all over Florida have called. Central Florida, West Coast, East Coast, everywhere. 954-966-4646. Be good, David. We'll catch up on Friday, my friend. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Sounds good.
This has been another session of the Welton Ray Miami Dolphins Report with David Furones. At Welton Ray, they don't get paid unless you win. They handle complex personal injury claims caused by the fault of another in both state and federal courts. They handle auto, trucking, motorcycle slip and fall, and bicycle accidents. Call 954-966-4646. Welton Ray can help.
I love how the Tua comment took off. Would you like a fresh start? Yeah, that would be dope. What did anybody expect him to say? Look, I get the hate for Tua and the whole money and all that. Well, that's Stephen Ross's problem, bro. Okay? The Dolphins weren't going anywhere anyways. With or without his money, with cap space, without cap space, with extra picks, with tons of picks, with no picks. They're not going anywhere anyways because they're a clown show. So for those of you that want to hang it on Tua for something, the franchise has done nothing for well over 30 years. It has nothing to do with Tua. I'm sorry. What did you expect Tua to say? No, I want to stay here because it's been fantastic being here with this dysfunctional organization that put me together at first with a coach that hated me and was literally trying to end my career. Then you put me with another coach that can't coach, that doesn't know how to structure an offense. And, of course, I've taken all kinds of hits and concussions because I'm trying to play because you're playing me with a shitty-ass team. So do you expect Tua to want to stay here? Whether you like him or not, whether you agree with him or don't, whether you believe in him or not, what player wants to be here deep down inside? They all want the money, but they would rather be in a winning situation. Don't kid yourselves. There aren't guys sitting there going, yeah, I'm really happy to be a Dolphin knowing that I'm never going to win. No, I think every player, including Zach Sealer, would like to earn the same money he's making with a winning team. Because that would be the perfect scenario. Unfortunately, they're not on one. But most players that come here are dying to go somewhere else after they experience how dysfunctional this is. So Tua's honesty should not be insulting. It should be enlightening, because that's how a lot of players feel. They just don't tell you. Okay? So I'm sorry if your feelings are hurt and you hate that Tua said that would be dope, but for him it probably would be dope to get a fresh start somewhere else. Maybe he can get closure on his situation. I can succeed. I can't succeed. But he gets the closure. Here, you just don't know. Just like with Dan Marino. I know he could have won a few titles, but I know you didn't do what was right next to him. So it is what it is. I know Zach Thomas and Jason Taylor and Sam Madison and Pat Surtain should have had a hell of a lot more success in the playoffs, but you didn't do right by them. And that's just a common theme for the Miami Dolphins for 40 years. They don't do right by any player, not even Marino. So don't be insulted. Be enlightened, because the owner has created an environment that deep down inside, they're just cashing checks. They really don't care about being here necessarily with this franchise. They care about being in South Florida, a no-tax state, great place to live, but they're not like, oh, my God, this is the greatest franchise of all time. They don't feel that way, and they don't care about the amenities and all that other stuff, because all you're doing is making them feel nice and comfortable, but they still are not winners. So Tua is being honest. So all I can tell you, Tua is being honest. By the way, tomorrow we'll be at Caneswear. Come on and join us, 11 to 1. And remember, you can use our code BIG-O10. You will get 10% off. Get shirts, hats, whatever, a logo, Dolphins logo. They got a lot of old logo stuff for the Dolphins, which is good. Remember, bail on the whale. Marlin stuff, Miami Heat, Inter Miami, 2655 South University Drive in Davie. Go check them out. Johnny M says Super Bowl with a laughing face on the super chat. Thank you, Johnny M. Appreciate you. And he sent in a second one now. Thank you, sir, for the super chat. He says they took a chance on him, 5th overall, fired a coach that was a big meanie for him and paid him $200 million one year. Anything but that comment. Yeah, well, that's it. It's a disaster all the way around. You had a coach that was a big idiot. Remember that. This is the idiot that wasn't willing to tank to get Joe Burrow. So, what can I tell you? It's called karma, isn't it? So they get the guy you hate, but they tried to get the guy that probably everybody wanted, but you weren't willing to cooperate. Those of you that defend Flores, you're freaking idiots. Just so you'll know. Big Meanie, the guy was an idiot. He's just a defensive coordinator. He couldn't even build an offense. couldn't even get an offensive coordinator to hang around. He was part of the problem like many others. Don't defend Brian Flores. Makes you look dumb. Stephen Baker, the touchdown maker. Thank you, sir, for the love on Venmo. You may be onto something with Tua to the Falcons. 12 of the 17 games played in favorable climates. Falcons have 28+ million in cap space. Throw in Tyreek some way. Nah, they don't need Tyreek. They have weapons there. Would be interesting to see a Weaver team with Tua, Tyreek, built on run and play action. No Tyreek. But everything else, I could see Tua there. I could see Tua there. I'm telling you. That's all I'm saying. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. When I look at the landscape, that might be a place that could end up being a spot for him and the situation. Not to be that guy, but what about Chris Shula? What about him, Johnny? What about him? He's a defensive coordinator for the Rams. They have their head coach, dude. You know what I mean? I wouldn't hire Chris Shula right now because he's too young. I don't even know if he can build a staff. So to me, and what, I'm going to put a young guy to be the head coach / defensive coordinator. I'm not doing this again. So I would not hire Chris Shula in the first place. By the way, for those of you that don't know, Shula's sons weren't anything special at coaches. So this is an offspring of those guys. Just want you to know. Now, he's become a terrific defensive coordinator, but he does have elite talent. Okay? I'm just saying. And he's really young, and I would not. And the last place Chris Shula should go to is the Miami Dolphins. The last place. Why? The Shula name. He just, no. Won't work. It'll be bad for him. So, it's, yeah. But I love the whole Shula thing because, like, it's funny because the sons weren't anything special. The direct sons of Don Shula weren't anything special as coaches. But I will give Chris Shula credit. He's done a nice job as a defensive coordinator. But he does have some nasty-ass talent at defensive line. Johnny M. again says, it skips a generation. Ha, bail on the whale. Yes, you got to bail on the whale, baby. All right, let's get to our 3A Graphics sports calendar. Sean Stanley, 786-618-1443 if your company corporation needs custom printing and embroidery. Thursday night, 7 o'clock, the University of Miami, number 10 team in the country, taking on number 6, Ole Miss. Miami favored by 3.5. The over and under is 51.5. Miami minus 170 on the money line and Ole Miss plus 140 on the money line. Tonight on the ice, the Panthers will take on the Maple Leafs at 7:30. Panthers are minus 125 on the money line. The Maple Leafs are plus 105. The Heat, they visit Minnesota. Minnesota's favored by 6.5. The Heat, the over and under is 238. Heat plus 200 on the money line. Minnesota minus 275. Fort Lauderdale United enjoying their time off till January 31st. They will host Lexington SC at 7:30 at Beyond Bankcard Field. You can get tickets at FTLUTD.com. And the Falcons have requested an interview with Miami defensive coordinator Anthony Weaver as head coach. Oh, also Arizona has requested also Anthony Weaver as a head coach. So there you go. Interviews for Anthony Weaver. Anthony Weaver should get out of here. Okay. By the way, there's a rant there too that Sean posted how I would handle the coaching GM situation because it's complete. It's being mishandled now. But I spoke how I would handle it and the people that I would get in order to do it, which makes way more sense than what these idiots are doing. This circle of idiots is just, it's pathetic, dude, is what it is. It's just pathetic. The Dolphins are a pathetic team. They're a disgrace. Stephen Ross is a disgrace, unfortunately. But what are we going to do? Cowboys fire Matt Eberflus. Oh, what else? What else? So let me get to music. How about that? Let's do that. All right. You guys got any questions? Send them in. Questions, comments, insults, send them in. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Let's start off with musicians' birthdays today on January 6th. Let's see. Polo G, the American rapper, born in 1999. Alex Turner, guitarist, vocalist for the Arctic Monkeys, born in 1986. Mark O'Toole, bassist for Frankie Goes to Hollywood, born in 1964. Kathy Sledge from Sister Sledge, born in 1959. Malcolm Young, guitarist with AC/DC, born in 1953. Kim Wilson, blues singer and harmonica player, lead vocalist, and frontman for the Fabulous Thunderbirds. Let's see who else celebrating birthdays today. Syd Barrett, rest in peace. Died in 2006. He was born in 1946 on this date. Van McCoy, American record producer, arranger, singer, songwriter. Do the hustle. Bum, 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 ba-dun, dun, dun, dun. Born in 1940. Let's see, and that is it for musicians. Now let's go with other famous people born on this day. Remember, if I don't give you an age, that means they have passed away. Joan of Arc. I was just hanging out with her recently. Seriously, like, it's amazing. I can't believe that Joan of Arc is gone. I mean, we just lost her, 1814. You know, like, it was yesterday, 1814. All right, let's see. Baseball Hall of Fame member Early Wynn, born in 1920. World Golf Hall of Fame member Carrie Middlecoff, born in 1921. Auto executive and the man that loves cocaine in his car, John DeLorean, born in 1925. College Football Hall of Fame member and broadcaster and suffering succotash. It's Lou Holtz. He was born in 1937. He's 89 years old. Suffering succotash. Actress Bonnie Franklin, born in 1944. World Golf Hall of Fame member Nancy Lopez, born in 1957. She's 69. Football Hall of Fame member, actor, broadcaster Howie Long, born in 1960. He's 66. Musician Eric Williams of Blackstreet, born in 1961. He's 65. Filmmaker John Singleton, born in 1968. TV personality Julie Chen, born in 1970. She's 56 today. Let's see. Podcaster, writer Hillary Baldwin, born in 1984. She's 42. Actress, one of my favorites, Kate McKinnon from SNL, born in 1984. She's 42. So funny. Love her. Model Arena Shayek, eat a cheeseburger, sweetheart. She's 80. Born in 1986. She's 40. In fact, have 2 cheeseburgers. And that is it. Sean Stanley, do you have wrestlers that I'm sure ate plenty of cheeseburgers?
Yes, sir, we do. Robbie X turns 31. Professor Toru Tanaka was born on this date in 1930. Ludwig Borga was born on this date in 1963. Conan turned 62. Hiro Tanaka turned 67. And WWE Hall of Famer Jacqueline is 62 on January 6th, 2026.
All right. So Brian Flores is emerging as a head coach candidate in different places. They're talking about it with the Raiders. Somebody's talking about how they'll bring Brian Flores in and Brian Dable as the offensive coordinator. If I'm the Raiders, I'm going for Stefanski. Why? I've got the number 1 pick, bro. I'm going to get a quarterback. So I'm going to have my quarterback in Mendoza. I get my head coach, quarterback guy in Stefanski, and I move forward if I'm the Raiders. That would be the move that I would make if I'm the Raiders. But Stefanski, like I saw a Dolphin podcaster put out about, Dolphins going after Stefanski. I'm like, yo, dude, come on, bro. He's going to go to a team that has a quarterback and certainly not cap hell, which Miami has cap hell for 2 years. So Stefanski, I can almost guarantee you, will be coaching Tennessee, the Giants, or the Raiders. Why? Quarterbacks. Why would you take a job that doesn't have a quarterback? It's crazy, right? By the way, did you see the latest report from oh man, now I'm brain farting my boy, and I know him very well. The draft guy, not the guy with the hair, not Kuiper, the other one that was no longer on ESPN anymore. Him. Why am I brain farting? The blonde guy, bro. Oh God, I can't believe I'm forgetting his damn name. He was there with Kuiper going back and forth a couple years ago, and then he had some health issues and he had to step away for a little bit, but then he's back now and he's got his own show. McShay. Damn, Todd McShay. Thank you, Rob. I appreciate you, bro. What a brain fart. And I know Todd very well, bro. Like I go back and forth with him on text every once in a while. Anyway, Todd McShay puts out a report that the Oregon quarterback Moore, like his agents and all that, they're like, yeah, we're gonna go back to Oregon if we're gonna be the number 2 pick in the draft because we don't want to go to the Jets. And that's and now with NIL, you will make a boatload of money. He'll make $5-6 million easy next year with NIL. Easy. Maybe more. Who knows? Maybe just like his name, he'll make more. But whatever. But it's kind of crazy how this is all kind of shaping up. So quarterbacks drive everything. And Stefanski has had quarterback hell while he was with the Browns. So he's kind of learned his lesson. And because I believe he's the top candidate available right now. Out of all the people, I like Joe Brady a lot. That would be a guy. I don't know if he can build a staff. Stefanski at least has had, some experience, but I do like Joe Brady. I would take a chance because he's already been in the NFL for several years and bounced around a little bit and also been in college. So, he might be able to do it, so that's one of those guys. Obviously, I love Marcus Freeman from Notre Dame, but he's already announced that he's going back, all those kind of guys. I mean, we're past this already because they're keeping this idiot. But Stefanski, no way would come here, a Dolphin podcaster, of course, it's spinning silly shit and hopeful crap and all that. Hypotheticals that are silly, you know what I mean? Like radio shows that you hear all the time that they just live on silly hypothetical trades and talk and all that. It's just like a waste of time. But there's a lot of you that like to waste your time this way. But if I'm Stefanski, I'm going to have the pick of the litter, I think. And if I'm Tennessee, I want Stefanski. If I'm the Giants, I want Stefanski. And if I'm the Raiders, I want Stefanski. Guaranteed. So he's in a really good spot, Kevin Stefanski. Let's see how that one works out for him. What are you laughing about? What'd you find? Nothing? All right. Thank goodness for the U, though, bringing football back to life in South Florida. Yes, sir, Dolphin. Yes, sir. Mike Shula was a good coach for Tampa Bay. Let's see. Thanks for showing how someone can make a bad secondary look elite. Bye, Weaver. I don't know about elite, but he did the best he could with that, what he had best. Best song of Joan of Arc reference. The Smiths, of course. Big Mouth strikes again. Big Mouth strikes again. Yes. As the flames rose and her Walkman started to melt. So I would go with Joan of Arc, Pat in Nashville. I would go with Big Mouth Strikes Again from the Smiths for the best Joan of Arc reference in a song. Give it to Morrissey, the lyricist, for coming up with it. Raiders are not going to pick a quarterback. He would fail. Nothing around him. They're gonna take Mendoza, bro. You can have all your hate you want for the Raiders or whatever silliness. They'll take Mendoza. Yes, sir.
I don't know if you already saw this. Panthers, Matthew Tkachuk.
Oh yeah, on the ice.
Yep.
Is he going to play tonight?
Well, he skated this morning.
Yeah, I know
in
that.
a non-contact jersey. No other word yet.
He's not playing.
So I doubt he's playing the first couple games.
He's got to take the non-contact off. He's got to have.
He's off. It's off.
Oh, it's off.
It's off as of this morning.
Because I know he was taking contact anyways.
Yeah. You cannot not take contact.
You can't be a Tkachuk and not have contact. Fathers, sons. It's no Keith. It doesn't matter.
Unless you're skating on the other side of the ice from everybody else, you're not gonna be able to. You're still getting bumped into and stuff. So we'll see.
Yep. Let's see what else. Louder says his team's going to be trash for another 53 years. God, I hope not, but it doesn't look good right now early on. It looks pretty bad. I'd love to lie to you guys and all that, but you know I don't do that. I don't bullshit you guys. I don't talk silliness. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, appreciate all of you out there. We thank Ira Winderman. We thank David Furones. We thank the one and only Steve Calabro. Tomorrow, we're going to be at Caneswear. We'll be on at 11 a.m. from 11 to 1. Come on by, say hi. Always appreciate you all out there. Visit our amazing sponsors like All Year Cooling, baby. 888-204-5554. We love Tommy and all the great people. We'll be right across the street from Fort Lauderdale United tomorrow. And maybe we'll hook up with Tommy. Anyway, appreciate all of you out there. Those of you that made a donation, thank you. Those of you that hit the like button, thank you. Notification bell, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you. Visit our amazing sponsors. We shall see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel.